2018 was a banner year for Lorena as the Leopards brought home a District 8 4A championship, followed by a strong 3-round run in the playoffs. The Leopards were led by an outstanding class of seniors, 19 in all, whose skill and toughness on both sides of the ball vaulted the Leopards above the competition. 1 year ago to the day, Lorena welcomed China Spring into Leopard Stadium to renew their crosstown rivalry. The Leopards defended their home turf by a score of 35-21, a sign of things to come in a memorable season. The 2019 football season sees the Leopards welcoming in more than a few fresh faces. Just 6 returners on offense and 5 on defense means there is plenty of room for younger players to step in and continue what has become a proud tradition demonstrated in 11 straight playoff appearances. A familiar foe awaits, but this time it is the Leopards who will make the trip across town tonight and attempt to steal a win on the rivals' home field. It's Cougars, it's Leopards, it's Friday Night Football for your Lorena Leopards. You're listening to CTSN's production of Lorena Leopards Football, brought to you by Syntex Pond. Customer service, higher loans, and great retail prices. That's Syntex Pond. By Billy Kelly, CPA. By Jesse Britt, Automotive. Discounting your price, not your service. By Williams Contracting-LLC. Specializing in whole house remodeling and insurance claims. By Toby's Auto Sales, your Waco family-owned and operated pre-owned dealership. From Walk-In Tubs of Texas, for safety, for therapy, for pleasure. And by Lynn's Pharmacy Hewitt, service you deserve from neighbors you trust. And the Joe Pack Player of the Game, sponsored by Billy Rutherford in honor of his friend and former teammate, Joe Pack. You're listening to Lorena Leopards Football on CTSN, sponsored by Syntex Pond. More Lorena Leopards Football right after this. Syntex Pond boasts the highest quality customer service in the pond business. Syntex Pond loans more than the competition and has great retail prices on used goods. With locations in Waco, Temple, and now Hewitt, Syntex Pond is there when you need them. Visit 801 East Waco Drive in Waco or 1402 West Adams Avenue in Temple, and the brand new location at 520 North Hewitt Drive. Customer service, higher loans, and great retail prices. That's Syntex Pond. 25 years of experience in construction, you can trust Williams Contracting, LLC. Williams Contracting, LLC are general and restoration contractors specializing in whole house remodeling and insurance claims. Contact Mark Williams at 254-301-2752 with your next remodeling needs. Williams Contracting, LLC. That's 254-301-2752.
Welcome back into Cougar Stadium here in China Spring, Texas, as the Leopards run out of the tunnel when what will be the inaugural game here in the 2019 season. David Gibson alongside Chris Fuentes, Cody Kellner, Clay Gibson, and Ben Huey on the camera tonight. We are excited to be kicking off this season, and Chris, despite a little bit of difficulty here in the booth, Lorena's got a lot to look forward to here tonight.
Oh, for sure. You've got the district MVP returning in Bradley Lina at quarterback, and that's a great start. You've got an incredible wide receiver, Ty Moore. This offense scored over 40 points a game, so we're going to be able to put points on the board again this year. I look forward to it. Absolutely, and of course, don't forget A.J. Brim in the backfield and a whole host of return kids who played last year. You know, it's interesting. We were talking before the game, Chris, and it's never a good sign when you're only returning 6 on offense and 5 on defense. The interesting thing, though, is that China Springs returning 4 and 4. 4 on offense, 4 on defense. So really, it's 2 teams. It's going to come down to which 2 teams, younger players, can come up to speed the quickest. Absolutely, that's exactly what and that's where the first game jitters come through, and we'll see who can make plays. But you've got to like the experience we have returning at quarterback. Bradley Lina has almost 4,000 passing yards in his career and has almost 900 on the ground. So that's a good start. Absolutely. Captains are on the near side of the field. The captains for Lorena this evening: Zane Grimm, Bradley Lina,
James Dixon, as well as Anson Ariano. So that's senior.
That's 4
Seniors. And so it makes sense that these guys will be leading the team out to the midfield here to start this football game for the toss of the coin.
Number 21, Tristan Chachi.
Yeah, I look for an interesting start. You know, we kind of spoke about the teams and what they have returning. You know, I looked at Texas football earlier this evening, and I saw that, you know, both of these teams are ranked in Texas Football's magazine's top 25 in their respective divisions. China Springs sitting at 25th in the preseason rankings in Division I, and Lorena actually ranked number 8 in Division II. So that'll be something to keep an eye on for sure.
11 straight seasons of playoff football here in Lorena. Ray Biles has really built himself a program where the kids, by the time they get to varsity, they know what they're doing, they know the job at their position, and they're ready to perform. And so all of Lorena Nation hoping we got off to a great start this football season here in 2019.
Yeah, like you said, you know, Ray has been here for so long. This is year 29. So you've got guys that are coming in that are playing for the same coach that perhaps their dad played for. So that's a big deal.
So we've had the toss. I believe China Spring won the toss. Let me wait and get clarification on that. China Spring did win the toss. They are
China Spring has won the toss.
Electing to receive. So Lorena will start the 2019 season on defense. We're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break. You're listening to Lorena Leopards football, sponsored by Syntex Pond.
Syntex Pond boasts the highest quality customer service in the pond business. Syntex Pond loans more than the competition and has great retail prices on used goods. With locations in Waco, Temple, and now Hewitt, Syntex Pond is there when you need them. Visit 801 East Waco Drive in Waco or 1402 West Adams Avenue in Temple, and the brand new location at 520 North Hewitt Drive. Customer service, higher loans, and great retail prices. That's Syntex Pond. For a safe and therapeutic walk-in spa built right into your existing bathroom, family-owned and operated Walk-In Tubs of Texas sells and installs top-quality national brand walk-in tubs for thousands less than the competition. Our low overhead enables us to save you thousands of dollars. Financing and low monthly payments available with good credit. Call or text 254-420-7541 for a free estimate. That's 254-420-7541, or go online at tubsoftexas.com. Walk-in Tubs of Texas. When you're faced with an auto repair, all you really want is to be treated fairly and to have it done right the first time. Well, Lorena's own Jesse Britt has been doing just that for over 20 years. Jesse Britt's Automotive is a full-service repair shop that can handle any of your automotive needs. Jesse's highly trained staff handles both foreign and domestic repairs, offers competitive pricing, and 100% customer satisfaction. Jesse Britt's Automotive even offers a free shuttle service to help ease your burden while you wait. So the next time you are faced with an auto repair, trust Jesse Britt to treat you fairly and to do it right the first time. Jesse Britt's Automotive, where they discount the price, not your service.
Welcome back into Cougar Stadium. David Gibson here in China Spring, Texas. We are about to get underway. The teams have had the toss of the coin. China Spring wins the toss. They elect to receive. Lorena will kick from left to right here at our stadium. And take a look at the defense here, Chris, for the 2019 Lorena Leopards. Across the front, we have Jordan Jackson at defensive end, Tyler Sparks at defensive tackle, and defensive end Taylor McGowan. So we're looking at junior, senior there. That's a pretty good sign. We'll get the rest of the starters here right after this kick. Big Ty Moore back to do the honors for the Leopards as we look to get this season underway. Leopards hoping to repeat the results from last season when they knocked off China Spring in week 1, 35-21. Toby's leather and the kick is underway. A long driving kick going to sail into the end zone, will not be returned. So China Spring will start at their own 25-yard line then in this football game.
Yeah, and you know, David, we like to talk about experience coming back, and you've got some great players along that defensive line like you talked about, but you also got to talk about Julius Salazar and Zane Grimm in the defensive backfield. They made some great plays last season. I look forward to them making another season full of great plays again.
So here we go. China Spring moving from right to left as the sun sets behind them. Quarterback is in the backfield, offset to the right-hand side. Man comes in motion, now returns to his former position. Handoff, running to the left, across the 30 to the 35. Will have enough for a first down up near the 38-yard line. And that was number 8 for China Spring, Emmanuel Abdallah.
And Braden Faulkner at quarterback for China Spring will be interesting to watch. He started as a freshman last year, took the bumps and bruises that you would think, you know, a first-year starter would see, and now he's coming into his sophomore year with a lot of experience, David.
He definitely looks bigger than he did last year. Ball's on the ground. Faulkner picks it up. He's trying to get outside. We're going to have a face mask. He throws the ball out of bounds. We have all kind of laundry all over the field. It'll be interesting to see, Chris, if they call that intentional grounding or they just stop with the face mask.
Yeah, I think there was a clear face mask. I think that's where we're going to leave it at.
Well, the ball clearly sailed out of bounds. He was out of the pocket.
Yeah, I was going to say it did look like he was out of the tackle box.
It did not make the line of scrimmage.
Long conversation going on.
Sure is. And Lorena is walking backwards. Looks like it is going to go against him. We're still waiting on the signal there.
Oh, penalties will offset.
We have... Okay, I think this
penalties decline.
There you go. He's they had a holding against China Spring, and that was declined. That doesn't make any sense.
No.
Right now, I think our officials are confused. Bottom line is, well, it is the first game of the year.
I was going to say, you know, we look for the players and their nervousness on the field, but it looks like we have some officiating nervousness as well.
Here we go. China Spring 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line. And we have whistles and a false start against China Spring. I'm still, Chris, trying to figure out what exactly was with that play.
I'm not sure either. It looked like there were looked like the official signaled 2 penalties, one on the offense, one on the defense, and it looked like the one on China Spring was declined. So I'm not sure exactly where we're looking at here.
Nevertheless, the ball spotted at the 32-yard line. First down and about 15. Faulkner has the ball. He's going to hand it off to the running back, going to the far side across the 30, 35. Tries to make a man miss. He's up across the 40-yard line, and it looks like they're going to spot him right around the 42. So a pickup of about 8 on the play, maybe 9. We'll wait and see where they spotted exactly. Ball spotted at the 41-yard line. They need the 47 for the first down, so that'll bring up second down and 6.
Yeah, and that was number 8, Emmanuel Abdallah on the carry.
Faulkner has the snap. Once again, hands off to Abdallah. He's got the 45, 50, look out, 45, runs over some mans, and is finally gang tackled down near the Lorena 40-yard line. Enough for a big pickup for China Spring and a first down.
Yeah, they're gashing us so far, David. We're going to have to get some pressure in the backfield. It looks like, we hadn't even attempted a pass except for the intentional grounding that they could have called on the botched snap earlier. You know, you got to keep an eye on number 2, KJ Peoples. He was their leading wide receiver with over 70 receptions last season. So
KJ lined up here to the near side. He's being matched up with Julius Salazar. Faulkner has the ball, hands it off to Abdallah. Once again, he's up across the line of scrimmage, but this time Lorena's there to meet him without as much success. Looks like maybe he picks up a yard.
Yeah, that was some good pressure up front by the defensive line. They collapsed the offensive line and didn't give him much room at all.
10-19 on the Gail Kelly scoreboard. Our score is 0-0 here in the first quarter in China Spring, Texas. China Spring on the initial drive of the football game. They've moved the ball from their own 25 now to the Lorena 40. Faulkner looks at the line of scrimmage, now stands up, looks to the sideline, gets the call, communicates with his offensive line, and steps back. He stands right around the 44-yard line as he awaits the snaps. He has it. Fakes to Abdallah. He's going to keep it. He's at the 40. Cuts in, and he's down near the 37-yard line. Flags fly there in an area that looks like Chris may be holding.
Yeah, and it looked like there could have been a false start on the left side of the offensive line as well. It went uncalled. We'll see what the officials say here. KJ's definitely getting some attention. It looks like the safety slid over and was almost in double coverage, even though there were strips to the left.
Jordan Jackson comes into the football game for Lorena, replacing Taylor McGowan. This is against China Spring. It's going to march him all the way back to the 49-yard line. So that'll bring up second down and 19. They need the 30-yard line for their next first down. Faulkner, 4 wides for China Spring, 3 to the near side, single back to his left in the backfield. That's Abdallah. He has it running the option this way. Faulkner tries to pitch it. He does late, 50, 45, and thrown out of bounds. And Chris, that was a risky play, so pickup of about 4 on that carry.
Yeah, the defender was right in front of his face, and he pitched it right over his head. That was very risky, but you know, we made the play, minimal gain. We'll take 3rd and 15 here, 3rd and 14. Need a defensive stop here and get the ball.
Big opportunity for Lorena to get off the field. 9:06 remaining here in the first quarter of play. No score. China Spring with the ball at the 44-yard line. Man goes in motion to the far side of the field. Faulkner has it, looks to the near side. That's Peoples, caught at the 45-40. He's got some room, 35-30. Hit hard at the 31-yard line. We have a flag come down. Surely that's not targeting.
I wouldn't think it was targeting. It looked like a clean hit to me, but there's that man. You got to watch KJ Peoples. He was their leading receiver last year, over 800 yards, 73 receptions, and he is fast.
Lightning quick. And China Springs walking backwards. Could have been a hole downfield. Let's hope for that one.
Yeah, they're definitely pointing towards the China Springs side of the field.
That is going to go against China Spring. So Lorena will accept the penalty. The ball moves back to the 40-yard line. So the initial, back on 3rd down, we're finally back to the initial line of scrimmage. China Spring facing now 3rd down and 10 with 8:48. The clock has stopped due to the penalty. Faulkner looking to the line of scrimmage. Now turns, look to the far side of the field where the China Spring coaches are. Lorena with 4 down linemen. Faulkner now looks over the defense. 3 wide receivers to the right. He has the snap, looking to the far side of the field throw. It will be caught just outside the 35-yard line and tackled. We'll see where they spot it at the 32 out of bounds. So he's going to be 2 yards short. It'll be interesting to see if China Springs feels like they can make those 2 yards here early in the game.
Yeah, this is a big play call, and, you know, second year Coach Bell for China Spring. It's a big decision early in the season. What would you do, David?
I think I'm probably going here. They're kind of in no man's land. That's a long field goal opportunity. Even if you don't make the 2 yards, you're starting and then giving up the ball in an area of the field that's like a reasonable kickoff return. So China Spring having a lot of movement. They hand it up the middle. Going to be very close to the first down. It'll depend on the spot. The near side official is running just outside the 30-yard line. And I think he's going to be short, Chris.
He looks short.
I think he's going to be
That's
short.
Lorena ball.
And they say first down, Lorena. Big stand early in the season here by the Leopards. And boy, do we need that.
Exactly. You're replacing 2 all-state guys at linebacker, and you come in early in the season and make a stop like that. That's a great start to the season defensively.
So Lorena, that's like breaking serve, isn't it?
Absolutely. And, you know, China Spring with that spread offense, you know, they can put up points. And so you get a stop early, that's great.
So here come the Leopards now. Bradley Lina in the backfield. Has 2 wide receivers to the near side, 2 to the far side. China Spring shifts their front. Nearly jumps offside. Lina throws quickly at caught across the 35 up near the 40. And where they spot that's going to be a close to a first down. First downs this season brought to you by Jesse Britt Automotive.
Yeah, bringing up second and short here. That was A.J. Brim on the catch.
They are going to say second and short, so not quite yet. First down. Lina, direct snap to the running back. He's at the first down. Ups across the 45-yard line near the 47. And that is definitely enough for a Jesse Britt Automotive first down.
Yeah, that was a nice carry by Rhett Hansen, a sophomore, number 4.
Ty Moore, lined up on the just outside in the slot on the far side of the field. 3 wide receivers to the near side. Sam Ives, one of those. Bradley Lina is in the backfield. Offset to his left is the running back. Lina looking to the near side. Is in trouble. He's going to step up and is not going to be able to get away from the defender's going to have a loss there. There is a flag that comes in late as well. So a loss there on the run by Bradley Lina.
Yeah, and you know that defensive end crashed in pretty quick and closed up Lina's window to throw the ball. But man, I'll tell you what, McCray Lewis had a wide open seam up the middle. I mean, there was nobody on him. It was 6 if he would have been able to get the ball off.
You know, last year we saw Ben Craig do that all season long. So if McCray Lewis, who is the son of Cody Lewis, our lead sponsor this season on the broadcast with Syntex Pond, if we can get him up the hash, that's going to help out a lot with this offense. Here come the Leopards. 3 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Lina's waiting. China Spring showing pressure. Lina throws out in the flat, caught up near the 43-yard line.
Ty Moore on the reception.
So that's going to be a pickup of about 5, depending on where they spot it. They're actually spotting him back near inside the 41, so very short gain. 7:24 remaining here in the first quarter. Lina quickly to the snap formation, and now he looks to the near sideline and gets the call. Communicates with his offensive line. Steps backwards. He's going to stand right around the 36-yard line. Running back now offset to his right. Fake the handoff. Looks up. Bradley Lina is going to run. 45. Bangs into a tackler up near the 48-yard line. So he's back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, 3rd down and 10. So obvious passing situation here. You've got to look towards number 10, Ty Moore. He was your leading receiver last year. Bradley Lina's favorite target. 800 yards and 8 touchdowns last season. So
I do want to mention that all defensive stops this season brought to you by Walk-In Tubs of Texas. So that big stop by the Leopards brought to you by the Walk-In Tubs of Texas. Here we go. 3 wide receivers to the near side. Lina is looking to throw. He's going to, under a lot of pressure, he's going to throw the ball away, and it's incomplete. And there is some question about whether or not this will be called an intentional grounding. No flag yet, but the officials are conferring in the middle of the field.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know if you heard the crowd, David, but it looked like one of their defenders, their linebackers, crashed in and stepped offside. It was offside when the ball was snapped.
So no flag that I can see.
Nope, no flag.
Clock stops momentarily at 6:28 here in the first quarter. Lorena and China Spring knotted at 0. Nobody has broken the plane of the end zone yet. The officials continue to talk things over. 3rd down and 11. And with the incomplete pass, depending on the call here, it would bring up 4th down and 11.
I'm guessing the conversation is about the intentional grounding, and it looks like that's what it's going to be. So he was definitely inside of the pocket, and the ball looked close to the line of scrimmage. So it was a questionable call, but they went ahead and threw the flag. Back it up. We're looking at 4th and about 17.
So Lorena going to punt. Back to receive for China Spring is Major Bowden. Taking for Lorena is Ty Moore. He holds the ball, thinks about a fake, and then kicks it. It's going to bounce at the 25. Takes a nice Lorena bounce inside the 10-yard line, down to the 5-yard line. Continues to roll and will be killed dead right around the 3-yard line. So a heck of a punt by Ty Moore to flip the field.
And this is my first time to use this season, but you have to love small high school football. How many times do you have your leading receiver, who's also your kickoff specialist, and your punter, who comes out and booms a kick inside the 5? That's incredible. These guys can do it all.
All Kicks brought to you this evening by Lynn's Pharmacy Hewitt. Service you deserve from neighbors you trust. We want to thank the Wagners for sponsoring the broadcast this year, and Lynn's Pharmacy Hewitt. 6:13 here in the first quarter of play on the Gail Kelly scoreboard. Knotted up at 0. China Spring backed up all the way inside their 5-yard line. Lorena showing some pressure. Gonna run it at the quarterback. Breaks the 5. Up near the 8-yard line, a pickup of about 4.
Yeah, there was some pressure coming in. I think that was a design run play. It looked like it. You wanted to get out of the end zone for sure, especially with a sophomore back there.
Looks like it. China Spring so far content to run. Cody Kellner tells us 41 yards, rushing, 28 passing on that first drive. So far, China Spring content to keep it on the ground, and who can blame him with Abdallah in the backfield?
Yeah, he's running well so far. Look at everybody lined up almost inside of the hash marks.
Faulkner waiting on the snap, and now he has it. Gives it to Abdallah, running to the near side. Gets a block on the edge. Up across the 10, near the 15, up to the 16-yard line. Looks like he's going to have enough for the first down.
Yeah, and that was number 6 for Lorena, Cade Walker, on the tackle. He went in for the strip, but went ahead and made sure he brought the ball carrier down as well. So first down.
So far, China Spring averaging almost 10 yards a play.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that will work, won't it? Unfortunately, that's not what we want.
Exactly.
Braden Faulkner, offset to his right. Man comes in motion to the near side. Faulkner's rolling to his right. He's got some pressure. Wrapped up, thrown out of bounds, incomplete.
Yeah, and that was number 21, Kason Pitts on the pressure.
Kason Pitts, the sophomore. So that's exactly what we talked about. The defense had to replace some of those beasts that graduated last year, those Dalen Bartoshes and Cade Mickness.
Yep. Who's going to replace? And that's a good start. You know, you got sophomores coming in and making plays. These guys made plays on JV. How does it transition to varsity? Good start so far.
Kason Pitts, the son of Corey Pitts, heads up the Lorena Athletic Boosters Association. Faulkner has the snap. He hands it off to the running back. Wrapped up in the backfield. Now he's trying to get away. He will break the tackle up across the 15 to the 16-yard line, back near the original line of scrimmage. Excellent hard running there, but great pressure by the Lorena defense.
Absolutely. Look who it was on the blitz. It was Kason Pitts again, breaking through the line and causing pressure. And that Lorena defense, who preaches team tackling, was able to get in and make the stop and keep the gain minimal.
I tell you what, if that becomes a normal thing, Kason Pitts stepping up and filling that void from some of those seniors left that last year, this could be a really fun season again. Faulkner has the snap, fakes it, throws it to the near side, caught by Peoples, gets a box, slips away, 30, 35, up across the 38-yard line. Still breaking tackles, near the 40 now, and up near the 42-yard line. Now, I tell you what, we want to keep it out of Kalen Peoples' hands.
Yeah, you got to keep it out of KJ Peoples' hands. The guy's a playmaker. He broke about 4 tackles on that play and made another couple of people miss.
4:14 remaining here in the first quarter. The clock stops momentarily. Now begins to run again. Dips inside of 4:10. 0-0 is your score. Braden Faulkner waiting on the snap. Has it. He's going to design run it. Hit at the line of scrimmage. Hit hard. Ball's on the ground, and I believe China Spring covered it.
Man, that was a good pop. I can't see the number from here, but Faulkner got popped.
You know, that we need a lot of that this evening. Faulkner has definitely grown. He's put on some muscle. He's a big kid now. Last year he was a little thin as a freshman, but he has put on quite a bit of muscle. And be good to put some helmets on him.
Yeah, I want to give credit where credit is due. It looked like 44, Elijah Borman, who was the one coming off the tackle, off the quarterback, or off the pressure.
Second down and 10. Ball's at the 41-yard line. Here comes some pressure, it looks like, from Salazar. He shows blitz and now backs out as China Spring.
Yeah, let's not leave KJ Peoples over on the outside.
Looking like some double teaming on here. Hand off to Abdallah. He's got the 40, slips down. His knee goes down right around the 41-yard line, which is a great break for Lorena. So it's going to bring up about 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, I'm really impressed by Abdallah. You know, he's breaking initial contact and remaining up. So we're going to have to team tackle just like Lorena preaches, and what we got used to last year, David. We're going to have to do it again this year because he looks like a tough runner.
So here we go. Big 3rd down. 2:40 remaining in the first quarter. No score. Faulkner and Abdallah are in the backfield. Braden Faulkner Waiting on the snap, he now has it. Gives it to Abdallah up the middle. Big hole near the first down. Going to be tackled short by about 2 yards at the 49-yard line of China Spring. They needed the 49 of Lorena. So that'll bring up 4th down and 2. And we'll be interesting again to see what does China Spring do here. I think if I'm them, I punt.
Yeah, I'd punt as well. It was interesting. We lined up in coverage, and we were way off the receivers that were in trips formation to the left.
China Spring looking like they're going to go for it. We'll wait and see if they are trying to draw Lorena offside. It's 4th down and a long 2. Faulkner claps his hands. Nobody moves. He stands up, looks to the sideline. Peoples, Trevino are the receivers to the near side. There's 3 of them. Whistles blow, and we have a timeout, China Spring. So we'll go ahead and take one here in the booth. You're listening to Lorena Leopards football on CTSN, sponsored by Syntex Pond.
Kelly CPA and the Dutton Harris & Company CPAs are focused on meeting the needs of small to medium independent businesses. With expertise in strategic accounting and tax services, Billy Kelly CPA and the Dutton Harris & Company CPAs will provide you with the structure planning, estate planning, compliance, and accounting your business needs. Put the experts to work for you. Billy Kelly CPA and the Dutton Harris & Company CPAs PLLC. Call 432-682-0963 or go online at dhc-pca.net.
Welcome back into Cougar Stadium here in China Spring. Lorena defense trying to get a big stop. China Spring going for it on 4th and 2 at their own 49-yard line with 1:46 left in the first quarter. Faulkner waiting in the backfield. He's got Abdallah with him. Fakes it to him. Faulkner rolling. He's under a lot of pressure. He's going to slip away. Rolling down to the far side of the field. Looking downfield. Will throw the ball. Caught at the 50 to the 45. 40 slips him tackle out of bounds at the 38-yard line. So close to getting off the field, Chris, but can't do it.
Yeah, that was an impressive show of balance right there by Faulkner. You know, Lorena had some great pressure, got into the backfield, had him about 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage and was able to shake free.
And, you know, that's that extra muscle that it looks like Faulkner's put on since last season. He managed to break that tackle. But tremendous amount of pressure by Lorena. Great call to bring the blitz. They just didn't land it.
Yeah, absolutely.
38-yard line is where China Spring now rests. 1st and 10. Clock is at 1:12. They hand it off to Abdallah. He's going to be hit near the 40 and then pushed backwards. So they'll spot him just inside the 35-yard line. So a pickup of about 3.
Yeah, and there's that leap of Leopards making the tackle.
There you go.
About 6 of them in on that play.
Checking out the ball game for the Leopards is Tyler Sparks, as well as Ensign Ariano and Blake Higgins. Second down and 7. Second down and 6. The ball at the 38-yard line. Faulkner is now looking to pass. Whistles blow, and we have flags and a false start against China Spring. That'll back him up 5.
Man, I didn't see the flag go up, so I thought 42 Callan Weaver had a free shot at the quarterback. But I'll take a false start.
I want to remind you that tonight's broadcast and our broadcast all season long brought to you by Syntex Pond. They have a new store open in Hewitt, 502 Hewitt Drive. Be sure and swing by Syntex Pond. Braden Faulkner stands at his 40-yard line. They need about the 30. Faulkner's looking to throw. Steps up, lofts the ball downfield. Got a cut man down there, and it is going to be caught for the touchdown.
Wow, that was a pretty nice play. Double coverage. Played pretty well, in my opinion.
Yeah, you know what? They were both there. I just don't think they could locate the football,
Yeah.
and he managed to just go up and catch it. There was great coverage by the Leopards.
Yeah. Well, we got to turn around and get the ball and answer.
So China Spring gets on the board first, and we await their extra point. Picking for the Cougars is Carson Coe. Snap is back. Holder puts it down. Coe swings his leg and puts the ball right through the uprights. And that will bring our score to China Spring 7, Lorena 0 on the Gail Kelly scoreboard. Take a look at our stats here in this first quarter.
China Spring Athletic Booster Club would like to thank our partners and other sponsors for their generous support. Thank you to Eagle Security Systems, Bush's Chicken, Point West Bank, Jones, Lincoln Looking, Joco Custom Homes, Shipley Donuts.
Yeah, we're having all kinds of interesting things going on tonight. So, yeah, I know. Yeah,
We're having our first game jitters in the booth too.
yeah. I'm not sure we didn't blow a board or something today. We were missing several channels, so it's made it issue. We know what
I'm
we're
talking
making
through an ear hole. Whatever it takes.
Yes, you are. 27 seconds here in the first quarter left. China Spring now up 7-0. They won the toss and elected to receive, and then Lorena made a stand. Lorena got the ball, and they had to punt it away. China Spring took that second possession, marched down, and got a big play on 4th and 2. Kept the drive alive, and then eventually scored. So that's where we stand now. Here we go. China Springs kicker swings his leg. Short kick, going to be to the far sideline. Will bounce actually at the 15. Get picked up to the 20 and then be tackled down right around the 21-yard line. So China Spring will, Lorena will start there with their second drive of the football game.
Yeah, David, and as the offense comes out, at the end of last possession, they put KJ Peoples, who's, their big-time playmaker on offense, on Ty Moore. Ty Moore is 6'1", 6'2", and going up against 5'8", so I would look to exploit that matchup and throw the ball his way if that continues.
Brett Hansen in the backfield with Bradley Lina. He's split wide he's split to his right-hand side. Grimm comes in motion, running the option to the near side is Lina. Cuts it up, across the 20, up near the 22 or 3-yard line, and be pushed back there. That'll bring up second down and 7 or 8.
Yeah, middle of the game, design run for the quarterback.
First contact made.
Pretty good pressure by the China Spring defense.
4 seconds on the clock as it continues to run. That's going to take us to the end of our first quarter where China Spring is up 7-0. We're going to go ahead and take a commercial break here in the booth as well. You're listening to Lorena Leopards football on CTSN, sponsored by Syntex Pond.
Americans who use mail-order pharmacy miss their medications due to late delivery. Well, Lynn's Pharmacy Hewitt offers all the conveniences of the large corporate pharmacies, but also offers fast, friendly service and the convenience of a local drive-thru and free delivery. Free delivery. If you are in need of a flu shot, now is the perfect time to visit Lynn's Pharmacy Hewitt with no appointment necessary. Come by 511 North Hewitt Drive or call us at 254-666-5000. Stop waiting on the mail. Try Lynn's Pharmacy Hewitt. Take the frustration out of your pharmacy experience today.
Welcome back into Cougar Stadium here in China Spring, Texas. A gorgeous night for football. A tremendous amount of Lorena fans made the trip across town to support their Leopards. Find them down 7-0 here as we start the second quarter, but Lorena's only had the football on offense for one possession, Chris.
Yeah, one possession. Didn't turn out the way we wanted it to, but this offense is bringing back some experience at quarterback and receiver. These guys didn't forget how to play offense. They're going to be able to move the ball. They're going to be able to score. We just got to do it on this possession. Let's go ahead and get it done.
McRae Lewis and Ty Moore split to the wide side of the field. Will Teague here to the near side, along with A.J. Brim. Red Hansen's in the backfield with Bradley Lina, who waits on the snap. He has it, looking to the near side. He's under pressure, and he's going to be sacked down inside the 20-yard line. It's a loss of about 3. And, what's becoming very apparent right now, Chris, is that the offensive line of Lorena is struggling against that front of China Spring.
Yeah, exactly. China Spring comes out in a 3-4, so they've got a lot of speed on the field, and it looks like they're bringing those linebackers close to the line of scrimmage to bring that pressure to the quarterback, and it's working so far.
Josh Thomas, the defensive end for China Spring, is huge, and he's having his way right now with that offensive front. Grimm goes in motion to the far side. Lina looking to throw. A lot of pressure up the middle. Screen, set up a screen pass, and it's incomplete. So that's going to bring up 4th down, and Lorena will be punting again.
Yeah, as we look in the backfield, Lina's on the ground again, so they are getting tremendous pressure so far. Offensive line going to dig in, protect him on the next drive. Let's see if Ty Moore can boom off another 65 yards.
First and 10, China Spring.
Faulkner out, and that was a design run, almost like a wildcat. Got out to the outside and made the run untouched up the sideline.
Really good blocking by China Spring there on the edge. It really came down to a one-on-one battle, and Bowden won it, and there was nobody really else there to even put a hand on him after that. 13-7 now, China Spring on top, 11:19 remaining in the second quarter of play. Here is the snap, kicks on the way, and it is good, and that'll bring our score 14-0 on the Gail Kelly scoreboard, sponsored by Billy Kelly CPA. It's kind of a good story there. Billy Kelly, mom, worked in Lorena for 20 years as a teacher. He wanted to honor her this season, so he's naming the scoreboard after her and sponsoring the broadcast. We appreciate Billy Kelly and Gail Kelly for that.
Very cool story.
China Spring Championships would like to thank the following businesses and individuals for their platinum sponsorships for the 2019-2020 Lubbock Galvin, Texas Park Railroad, Denwood Realty, Motors 2025, Shipley Donuts, Ross Pest Management, Allen Central Dodge Plastic Hanson on the return, number 4, Brett Spell on the stop. First and 10 Leopards from their own 33-yard line.
Automotive. Discounting your price, not your service. First down, Lorena, that's a big play right up the gut.
Yeah, you'll take that every time.
Here we go. Line is in the backfield. 2 wide receivers to the near side. Once again, has a blocking back in there. Single wide receiver. Now Line is going to run it. A 45, 50, 45, and down to the 41-yard line. And suddenly Lorena has found a running game.
Yeah, there's another run right up the middle. We're keeping it simple.
You know, there's 2 ways to neutralize a big defensive line, and that's to go right at them,
That's exactly
or
right.
to get it out of there quick. And right now, Lorena doing a good job of going right at them.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised with Lina's arm strength and power. We see a quick snap throw out here to the outside.
2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Again, there's that snap throw. Caught at the 39. That's McCray Lewis inside the 35, down to the 34. Short of the first down by about 2 yards, but now we're starting to pick up some chunks.
Yeah, and that's how you keep the defense off on their toes, off balance a little bit. You know, you go run, pass real quick, and the defense doesn't have time to react.
Lorena with a little bit of tempo now. Bradley standing at his the China Spring 39-yard line. McCray goes in motion behind the quarterback. They're going to hand it to Brim. He lunges forward down near the 32-yard line, going to be short of the first down, and that'll bring up a big 3rd down and 1 as the clock dips inside 9:45 here in the second quarter.
Yeah, David, and we're going to pick up this 3rd down conversion, but if for some reason, does this turn into 4-down territory for you?
At this point where the ball is on the field, yes, and given the fact that China Spring has all the momentum, I think you've got to keep the ball here. 3rd down and about 2. Here comes some pressure into the neutral zone. A flag flies. Bradley lets it go incomplete.
Yeah, China Spring was definitely offsides on that play. Looks like they've gotten away with it a few times, but
it makes you wonder if Lina came to the with the hard count or something. The linebacker is definitely blitzing, and there's no way he could stop once he committed.
Yeah, but it seems like they're doing a lot of that hard step into the line and just not being able to stop in time. This time they just got penalized for it.
It's a big 1st down for Lorena as they keep the ball. Bradley Lina and A.J. Brim in the backfield. Lina hands it up to Brim. He's up the middle, 35-30, down near the 20, inside the 25-yard line to the 24.
You know, here's where I look for that snap throw to Ty Moore out. He's single coverage, 5'8", super talented KJ Peoples guarding, but he's 5 inches shorter.
2nd down and 5. Lina looking to throw, throws it out in the flat, caught by McCray. He's inside the 30-yard line. That's very close to another 1st down for Lorena.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to bring up 3rd and about 3. 3rd and 1.
3rd down and 1, 8:45 remaining in the second quarter. Lorena with some momentum needs to capitalize. They give it to Brim. He's hit near the line of scrimmage. He's not going to make the 1st down. In fact, he's going to lose a yard.
Yeah, looks like he stops right at the 20-yard line. I'd get the offense to the line of scrimmage and snap the ball and get your play in and let's go. We can't go 3 here. We got to get 6.
You know, the concern here is at this point it looks like it's going to be a scoring contest. You've got to put this ball in the end zone. It sounds silly to say that early in the football game. McCray Lewis in motion. Lina has it. Hands it off up the middle. Brim, 30, 25, 20, 15, down to the 12, and that's more than enough for a 1st down.
That's a huge conversion right now. Keep the drive alive. Getting inside the 15-yard line. Looking to score here. Make it back to a 1-possession game.
8:03 remaining. A big moment in the season so far and in this football game. Lina, Brim in the backfield. Lina's a design run. He's up the middle. He's got some pressure coming to the outside. 10, 5, dives toward the pylon, and he is going to be run out of bounds at about the 2-yard line.
Yeah, and I like how he didn't slide. He lowered the shoulder and tried to run the defender over. 1st down and goal from the 2.
And Lorena can smell that end zone right now. They're quick to the line. McCray Lewis to the near sideline is split out. Ty Moore, it looks like we're going to have a timeout. We'll go ahead and take one in the booth. 7:41 remaining here in the second quarter of play. Lorena trying to get back in this football game as they currently find themselves down 14. You're listening to Lorena Leopards Football, sponsored by Centex Pond.
Are you in the market for a safe and therapeutic walk-in spa built right into your existing bathroom? Family-owned and operated Walk-In Tubs of Texas sells and installs top-quality national brand walk-in tubs for thousands less than the competition. Our low overhead enables us to save you thousands of dollars. Financing and low monthly payments available with good credit. Call or text 254-420-7541 for a free estimate. That's 254-420-7541. Or go online at tubsoftexas.com. Walk-in Tubs of Texas.
Welcome back into Cougar Stadium. The Leopards can smell that end zone, and they really need to punch it in here, down 14-0, 7:41 remaining in the second quarter. Lina and Brim in the backfield. Up the middle, Lina, he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Lorena. Bradley Liner on the keeper, faked it to A.J. Brim, who went wide, and there was plenty of room for Lina to bully his way in the end zone, and Lorena is on the board.
And that's how you respond right there. 14-7 or 14-6, pending the extra point, 1-possession game. You get a stop here, and the momentum swinging back your way a little bit.
I tell you what, and that was all about physicality. They ran straight at China Spring, and China Spring right now did not have an answer for that. Bradley Lina is the kicker, waiting on the snap. Here's the snap, put down on the ground. Lina swings his leg and booms the kick right through the fork, and the extra point is good. I want to remind you, touchdowns this season, and we hope we're calling a bunch of them for the rest of this game, brought to you by Williams Contracting, LLC. Williams Contracting, LLC specializes in whole house remodeling and insurance claims. We appreciate Williams Contracting, LLC.
Yeah, like you said, we hope we get to call that name out about 7 more times this evening.
Well, we've got a moment. We'll go ahead and take another break in the booth. 7:36 remaining on the Gail Kelly Scoreboard, sponsored by Billy Kelly CPA. Lorena down 14-7, but they're back in the ball game. We'll be right back after this message.
With well over 25 years of experience in construction, you can trust Williams Contracting, LLC. Williams Contracting, LLC are general and restoration contractors specializing in whole house remodeling and insurance claims. Contact Mark Williams at 254-301-2752 with your next remodeling needs. Williams Contracting, LLC. That's 254-301-2752.
Ty Moore ready to kick after Lorena has put a touchdown on the board. Here goes Ty, swings his leg, kicks on the way. A very high, deep kick. Going to be fielded at the 5-yard line. To the 10, to the 15, trying to get outside 20. 25, slips a tackle, 30. And going to be wrestled down up near the 40-yard line, all the way down to the 39 is where they'll spot it. Was that KJ?
That was KJ. You know, at 5'7", 5'8", 160, he's still tough to bring down to the ground. He's very shifty, very quick, so we definitely have to put a body on him.
I know he's small, but I'm surprised he's 160. To me, he looks closer to like 175. Really, really nice athlete. I'm surprised they also don't have him in the backfield. He is so lightning quick. He and Abdallah would be a heck of a thunder and lightning combination.
Yeah, for sure.
Here we go, China Spring now. Let's see if they'll answer. Ball up to the 38-yard line. Faulkner has it. He gives it to Abdallah, who's going to be tripped up near the 42-yard line after a pickup of about 4. And I tell you what, this has been one of the funniest nights I've seen. We just had a light go out on the home side of the field.
Yep.
So we're broadcasting a football game through an earphone.
An earphone. We have a light out. What else is going to go?
Half of our board is down. I don't think they're going to stop play. Apparently they agree that there's enough light, but I will say it's had quite a bit of an impact on the field where the ball is spotted.
You know, I'd be interested to see if they'll make a decision just to keep this game going. If they just, everybody kicks off from this way because defense going the other way.
Huh, that would be interesting for sure.
You remember the light going out in the Super Bowl a few years back?
Yes, I sure do. You know, every time I see a light go out like that, though, I think about the final game at Floyd Casey Stadium. When they had all the lights go out one at a time, and they had the final light go out. What a night to be there.
You know how to get right to the heart of me, David.
7:13 remaining here in the second quarter of play. I want to also mention and thank Billy Rutherford, who sponsors our player of the game. It's named after Joe Pack, who is his former friend and teammate here at Lorena. And so we have the Joe Pack player of the game. We'll be keeping that in mind. So far, several players playing well, even some younger players sort of making their name known. Just want to go through our sponsors here really quick. We are waiting. Coach Biles and Coach Bell of China Spring are out in the middle of the field. They look to be conversing about the light situation here. Interesting enough, I'm blanking on his first name right now. Not Brian Bell, not Sean Bell. The dad is also out there. So I think he's sort of operating as managing the facilities here now. I hope that's not incorrect. But let's go through our sponsors here real quick. We're blessed this year to be sponsored by 8 sponsors, and our lead sponsor being Syntex Pond, customer service, higher loans, and great retail prices. Our time and score this year brought to us by Billy Kelly CPA, naming the scoreboard in honor of his mother, a 20-year teaching veteran of Lorena, that's Gail Kelly. First Downs brought to you by Jesse Britt Automotive, discounting your price, not your service. Touchdowns brought to you by Williams Contracting-LLC, specializing in full house remodeling and insurance claim. All of the stats this evening brought to us by Cody Kellner are sponsored by Toby's Auto Sales, your Waco family-owned and operated pre-owned dealership. Kicks this evening brought to you by Lynn's Pharmacy Hewitt, service you deserve from neighbors you trust. Once again, the conversation still going on at midfield. Coach Biles walking back to the near side. Walk-in Tubs of Texas for safety, for therapy, and for pleasure. Walk-in Tubs of Texas sponsoring all defensive stops this season. And once again, Billy Rutherford honoring his longtime friend and teammate at Lorena with the Joe Pack player of the game. So couldn't be on the air without our sponsors. We certainly appreciate their willingness to sponsor the broadcast. We ask that if you would patron them as you have the opportunity to do so, reach out to them and tell them you heard about their business on the broadcast and stop in and take advantage of their services.
Yeah, it looks like Coach Biles is back out there to talk to the other bell.
So it's interesting, right? The whole bank is out. It's not as if it's one or two lights, which makes you think, is that a fuse? Is that a... But I'll tell you what, let's take a look at stats. How are we on the level of stats right now, Cody? I mean, in terms of, I know we've had some issues with that as well. How accurate are we so far this evening? Okay. Let's turn our attention to the stats now. Of course, our stats are brought to us by Toby's Auto Sales. And let's see here. Great, thanks a lot, Cody. Very blessed to have Cody Kellner on the broadcast with us this year. Tremendous amount of first-rate experience with statistics, and he has been excellent so far this year for us. Obviously, Chris, we're looking at these stats, and one thing stands out: total offense 179, Lorena 82. And I do have to say that they've had one more possession, right? So there's a potential there for that to even out.
Yeah.
Although having said that now, 19 plays for Lorena, 17 for China Spring. 4.3 yards of play for Lorena and 10.5 for China Spring. I would be interested to know what the average play on the last drive was. Average yard per play, it certainly was more than 4.3. Neither team passing extremely well so far. Lorena with 24 yards passing, China Spring with 66. Lorena with 4 out of 7, China Spring 4 out of 4. Well, look at the number on the yards per pass. China Spring was 16.5 yards per completion. Lorena was 6.
I've always found that interesting. With that stat gets blown up a little bit because with those snap throws, it's almost like it might as well be a run.
Right.
I mean, I know that the quarterback's throwing it, and he may be throwing it a yard forward, and then it ends up being what the receiver makes out of it.
That's that old RPO, right? They run the zone read, and then sometimes they pull it and throw it. Sometimes the quarterback keeps it, and sometimes they give it. That's the offense of the day right now.
4 penalties on China Spring for 25 yards, while the Leopards still 0 penalties. That's one thing that we always see out of the Lorena Leopards team. Very well disciplined. Not a lot of penalties. They're not going to do things that people see.
Right. So looking at Bradley Lina, so far we have a stats at 2 for 4 for 12 yards. Brett Hansen for 2 for 3 for 12, and some of these numbers might be a little bit off. I think our totals are good, but
there's a lot of talk going on. I would love to have a mic down on the field to know what those officials are talking about.
Okay, so just let's put. I want you to think about this. The last time you and I broadcast together a Lorena football game, what happened?
Gigantic monsoon storm. We finished about 6:30 in the morning.
There was a tornado warning, a literal tornado warning. There was a tornado, I believe it was within a few miles.
Yeah.
And they had everybody clear the stadium, obviously. They had all of the people in the press box get in the stairwells.
That was about, what, a 2.5 hour delay?
Oh, it was brutal. And, the thing about that, and you listen to the coaches talk about it, nobody's ever going to make an excuse. But if you remember looking back, Lorena had all the momentum at that point in the ball game. They had raced out. I think they had scored like 21 consecutive points. They had the momentum.
And then down the whole half.
That's right. And the coaches really do feel like if that delay doesn't happen, that they win that ball game going away. And again, they'll be the first to say, there is no excuse. The other team handled the break better, and they deserve to win the football game. But it was certainly a tough way to end for a team that was just so dominant on both sides of the ball.
Averaging 40 points a game. They had Bartosh at linebacker just blowing people up. Forcing turnovers, at a pretty good rate as well. Making the solid, sure tackle. And, we look back at that Pittsburgh game, it was 34-28, and I don't know if you remember, David, but they converted a 4th and long, just Hail Mary toss-up prayer that ends up being caught, and down inside the 10-yard line, they scored a few plays later and ended up being the winning possession of the game. I think we got the ball with like 30 to 45 seconds left.
Yeah, and I will always remember that play because when the ball was thrown, it was one of those things that there was only one player who was going to have a shot at it. And as the ball began to descend, I remember thinking,
it's going to be short.
It's going to be. It was going to be close. You knew that, but I did not think he'd be able to get to it. And you just got to credit the young man. I mean, he made a phenomenal catch, one that he'll certainly remember the rest of his life. Well, we're still breaking on the field in case you're just joining us or checking in. 7:18 remaining here in the second quarter play on the Gail Kelly scoreboard. Lorena down 14-7. Before you get too down about that, though, they were down 14-0, and the last drive showed a lot of grit and toughness and momentum to get this back to a single score. The players are kneeling on the field right now. The coaches are talking. There is a light bank of lights out here at the stadium on the home side. So what would normally be shining into us here on the visitor side press box is out, and it's had definite impact on the field, no question.
Yeah.
I do feel like maybe we could play, but
it looks like one of the lights has come back on in the bank. But knowing what I know about Coach Biles and the way he feels about starting a game and finishing a game in the same place or the same day. Is this something, like if the lights don't come back on or there's another light issue, do we drive to Lorena and finish the game?
I don't think so. I mean, that would be, wow, that would be interesting. The lights are slowly coming back on now. We have 3 lights on. This is funny. This feels like now 4. And with every light, you hear the crowd on the near side let out a cheer. There's a total of about probably 30 lights. Maybe not quite that many, 20 to 25 lights up there, and so far 4 of them are on. And hopefully they'll all be back on soon.
23 lights in the bank. That's how bored I am.
There we go. There's 7 now. 7 lights. Here's a math test for you, teacher. You can give me the percentage of lights.
I'm a behavior specialist.
2, 4, 6, 8 lights. 8 lights on. Looks as if this bank of lights is resetting and is going to slowly come back on. The interesting thing, is these lights it's not just a matter of them coming back on. They have to, it takes a while for them to warm up and come to, full luminescence. How about that? There you go. Oh, goodness.
I want to give credit while we're stopped to our crowd. The Leopards always travel well.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you right now, if you look at what is standing on the side, standing up in the student section, our side looks almost, if not more full than the home side.
Absolutely. And is it any surprise that they would support the broadcast the way they have when they drive across town like this? Just a tremendous community. That really happens when you have the type of leadership that they have in the football program, which we all know starts with Coach Biles, but really, comes all the way down to all of the coaching staff. Donnie Snodgrass, Steve Hoffman, Coach Kevin Johnson, and Brandon Graves, Weston Cooper. And it looks like now we're about to resume play, even though the lights aren't totally on. I want to mention also Coach John Carpenter, Matt Hurst, Evan Ward, and Alex Rogers. So second down and about 6. The ball is spotted at the 42. You'll have to forgive me right now. The field is a little dark.
I'm kind of surprised that they're starting back to play without the lights fully warmed up.
So Faulkner is in the backfield. He's got Abdallah back there with him, trying to spring 2 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side, and an up back. Faulkner waiting on the snap. Lorena looks like they're showing pressure off the near side. They do. Throw it's caught across the 50 down to the 48-yard line. Nice pass there by Faulkner and completion to KJ Peoples for that China Spring first down.
Yeah. You know, as I'm seeing us line up defensively, I like Casey Pitts. I like what I'm seeing from him. He's the guy that they're bringing off on the blitz almost every play.
So China Spring with the ball now at the 49-yard line. 6:50 remain in the second quarter. It's 14-7. Cougars on top. Lorena looking to get another stop here. Abdallah out in the flat. He fake from the quarterback up across the 45 down to the 44-yard line, and that's a pickup of about 5. Bring up second down and 5.
Yeah, and that was Zane Grimm on the stop. Come up, break down, bring the ball carrier down.
Zane Grimm, the senior defensive back. Been a stalwart for the Leopards for the 2 seasons that I've seen him so far. Here we go, second down and 5. Once again, Abdallah this time offset to the right in the backfield as Faulkner waits on the snap. He has it, fakes it to Abdallah, looking to throw. Under pressure, he's hit as he lets it go, it's complete. 30 and down to the 28-yard line is the reception there by China Spring, and that's another first down.
Yeah, he stood pretty tall in the pocket and delivered the ball at the very last second. That was Elijah Borman on the pressure. Went in and made a good solid hit. Got the ball off just in time.
Faulkner gets the play in from the coaches. He communicates to the offensive line, now steps back up near the 33-yard line and waits the snap. Claps his hands, has it, gives it to Abdallah. Breaks the tackle down to the 26-yard line.
Abdallah on the carry.
Pickup of about 3.
Yeah, and you know, like it seems like they run the spread. You feel like they do that hurry up offense, but I feel like it's a hurry up and wait. They're trying to bleed this clock a little bit.
Well, and you're right. I have yet to see them actually rush to the line of scrimmage and actually snap the ball. Second down and 8. Lorena shifts their front. As they do so, Faulkner stands up and looks at the coaches. Abdallah is split to his right-hand side. There's 2 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. 5:03 remaining in the second quarter. China Spring marching again, looking to throw to the near side of the field. One-on-one coverage. There is the incomplete pass. And great coverage there that time by a Leopard.
Yeah, that was
that Grimm?
That was McCray Lewis.
There you go. Let's see.
Pass intended for Kuligowski falls incomplete.
Can't get his number
Third
yet.
down.
Is it?
Was it Colton Dale? That was Colton Dale on the coverage.
Is that who it was intended for? Okay. Intended that time for Kuligowski. Wait, try to say that a few times. Faulkner rolling to the far side of the field now. Third down, big third down thrown, caught and hit very hard. Pass was completed, and that is enough for a first down, but what a hit.
Stop made by number 7, Zane Grimm.
Yeah, Zane Grimm on the tackle. That was, we talked about Zane Grimm a little bit earlier. He made 121 tackles last season.
Chris, I apologize. It's actually fourth down and about a half yard, so Zane managed to actually stop him short of that first down. That is by far the hardest hit of the football game. Fourth down and 1, a huge play. China Spring in a strong formation. They're running the football. Going to hand it off to Abdallah. He's got the first down up the middle, and he might have the end zone. He does. Touchdown, China Spring.
He had everybody in the box. And it like a hole just opened up. They opened the right hole, and the bank of lights has gone out yet again.
Yeah, every single player on offense for China Spring inside the tackles, it almost made it look like there was too many men on the field for him. Then they put Abdallah about 6 or 7 yards deep, and they just turned and handed it to him, and he really didn't have a lot of struggle to get in the end zone at all.
Yeah, it was really interesting to see him line up in that formation. Everybody was so close to each other.
So China Spring now up 20-7 on Lorena. 4:13, plenty of time here in the second quarter. Kick is on the way, and it is good. So with that, the score moves to 21-7 with 4:13 remaining on the Gail Kelly scoreboard. We're going to go ahead and take a break. You are listening to Lorena Leopards football on CTSN, sponsored by Syntex Pond.
The China Spring Cougars would like to thank our platinum sponsors for their commitment and dedication to China Spring ISD.
25 years of experience in construction. You can trust Williams Contracting, LLC. Williams Contracting, LLC are general and restoration contractors specializing in whole house remodeling and insurance claims. Contact Mark Williams at 254-301-2752 with your next remodeling needs. Williams Contracting, LLC. That's 254-301-2752.
Welcome back into Cougar Stadium here in China Spring, Texas. All kinds of odd things happening this evening. Unfortunately, the Leopards find themselves down right now anyway, 21-7, 4:13 remaining in the second quarter, so still plenty of time to play. We have had lots of interesting technical difficulties in the booth, and now here in the last 5-10 minutes, really, I guess more like 20 minutes, they've had the bank of lights on the home side go out twice, and now once again, Coach Bell and Coach Biles will meet at midfield and discuss things again, and I guess maybe think about how to go forward.
Well, I think the consideration has to be put in place that everybody looks like they're going to the end zone towards our right.
And it's amazing, right? As you said that, Coach Biles literally pointed to the right. So I think that's probably where they're headed, and it makes the most sense. The issue would be you're kicking off into the dark end of the field. I mean, I guess technically you could kick off into the same end of the field and just turn around, play to that end.
Field, yeah.
21-7, China Spring up on your Leopards right now. 4:13 remaining in the second quarter of play.
There's definitely some options here. Do you wait again on the bank of lights to come on? Do you have everybody go towards the same end zone? Or do you kick off and, do what you said and just flip the field, which would be a lot of extra work? I don't know.
Just getting back to the football game for a moment, that last drive, I mean, how many times did they barely not get to the quarterback? I mean, he hit as he threw. It felt like at least 3 times. And strong receptions by the wide receivers. You got to really hand it to them, but you got to feel like also that Lorena is close to maybe swinging it a little bit. But so far, China Spring definitely has the upper hand, up 21-7 here on their home field.
Yeah, one of the as close as the coverage has been really tight. Like you said, it's not like there's on that last possession that they were catching the ball and having a lot of room to run. It was getting hit immediately. So how quick, do we see a defensive back step in and break on one of those passes and pick it and take it the other way?
So there's been some decision made as Coach Biles now walks back to the sideline. The official still standing in the middle of the field. And he does appear to be motioning towards the well-lighted end of the field. And so we'll wait and see kind of what the decision is. Part of the issue when the officials are announcing the results of penalties and things like that is they're facing the far side of the field, and it appears as though it's more difficult here maybe on this side, not because they're facing that way, but because maybe the speakers are on that side or what have you. But
we're not switching movies.
No, we're not. All right, so looks like we're going to return to kickoff here.
I think you might be right, David. They may field the ball on the well-lit side and flip and turn around and run it towards the well-lit side, and everybody's going the same way for the rest of the game.
Yeah. Well, right now, this is the natural side for Lorena.
Right.
They were defending this end zone where they're receiving the kick now, but it will be interesting to see if they don't turn it around and have them go back towards the lit end of the field.
Yeah. Now the good thing about it is, there's no wind tonight, so that's not an issue. It's not like somebody has benefit going one way or the other, getting aid from the wind.
Carson Coe's the kicker. He'll line up in the dark practically. He's ready to kick. And Lorena awaits the kickoff. 2 men back standing at their own 10-yard line. Here goes Coe. Swings his leg. This is a very short high kick down near the 30. Is going to be fielded at the 26. Up across the 30. Now across the 35 to the 38. Fighting his way forward, and he'll fall down right around the 30-yard line. That
number 5, Dalen Browder on the return. That's
yeah.
a junior defensive back.
Return is
lining
out
up.
to the 39
You know,
yard
I'd
line
be,
of the Leopards.
it's pretty interesting to try to field that ball. You know, you're looking
First
in the
and
dark
10,
almost.
Lorena.
That's where the ball was coming from.
This is a huge drive for Lorena. There's 4 minutes, 5 seconds left. If they can manage to score and use enough clock where China Spring can't get another score, Lorena gets the ball right back after the second half with a chance to tie. So that would be huge. China Spring showing some pressure. Lina in the backfield. He's going to turn and hand it off to the running back across the 40, 45, flag down, 50, down to the 49-yard line.
Yeah, I think we've got a hold.
Thank you.
A.J. Brim on the carry.
It was a really nice carry.
A.J. Brim for about 12 yards on that carry, but it's going to come back. And the spot of the foul was the 39-yard line. So after 10-yard mark off, their official will put the ball down at the 29. And so now we're staring at first down and 20. 3:58 on the clock. In a sense, time is our ally as we want to get to halftime without giving the ball back to the Cougars. Two backs in the backfield for Lina. Stands at the 25, low snap, picks it up, runs to the far side, throws it out incomplete, and
there looked to be a little bit of miscommunication on that.
yeah, I think is that Brim out there?
For Brim.
Brim looks like he
was still in block mode. He was still trying to put a body on the defender.
looks like he may have gotten a little dinged up on that play. He's going to come out of the game now, and Rhett Hanson's going to go in. Brim's jogging off the field. He appears to be okay, but may need to sit out for a moment to kind of gather himself. Second down and 20 now. Lorena with the ball on their 29-yard line. Need a big play right here to make this a third down and doable. 3:53 is where the clock stopped with that incompletion. Lina has it. He's under a lot of pressure. Blitz. He's going to run it. He's in trouble. 30 up near the 32-yard line. That's all he can get. And that's going to bring up a third down and long.
Yeah, you know, to this point in the game, the only time we've really gotten to call Ty Moore, the best receiver on the team's name, is when he's kicking or punting. So I'd like to see a ball go his way.
You know, at this point, I'm not sure that Lina has long enough to wait.
You're right.
But I agree with you that the play here is throw it up for Ty.
Yeah.
Here's the snap. Lina has it. He's rolling towards Ty's way. Looking downfield. Ty's got behind him, man. He throws it, and it's going to be incomplete up to the 41. Ty was streaking open way down the field, but Lina was focused on the shorter field and didn't see him, and that's going to go incomplete, bring up fourth down.
Yeah, you wonder if the lighting has anything to do with that. You know, what's interesting, since we're not flipping the field, we get going into the dark, you know, the second and the fourth quarter, so that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, you're right. That China Spring would only have to deal with that for one quarter.
Yep.
So Ty Moore back to punt now. And, boy, this is a big moment. Big moment for the Leopards. They're going to need to get a good kick away, and
play 3 minutes.
Is Ty going to keep it? He's going to keep it. This is probably not a good thing. I don't think he's going to make it, and he's not. Ty gets up to the 37-yard line, picks up about 7 on that carry, and then that China Spring's going to have a very short field. That's a critical mistake right now.
Yeah, you know, you got to wonder what he saw there. Yeah. They were bringing pressure, so it's not, I don't know.
He might have thought he could slip the pressure and get behind him, but
we do know how strong Ty is.
That's true.
And he can break a lot of tackles. So,
well, so it's time for Lorena to step up on that defense. We need a big stop here. And China Spring now with a lot of momentum and the ball inside Lorena territory, spotted at the 37-yard line. 3:06 remaining before halftime, up 21-7 on your Leopards. They fake it to Abdallah. Faulkner's going to run. That's on a reverse. This is trouble. 35. Slips the tackle. 30, 25, 20. And out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Down to the 14-yard line is KJ Peoples.
Yeah. You know, he's so quick and so fast and shifty. You almost wonder, like, do you need a spy on him and somebody who's just dedicated follows him around wherever he's at on the field?
Clock running now, 2:49, 1st and 10. Inside the 15. Hand it off to Abdallah. He's up the middle. He's down near the 10-yard line. Pick up about 4. Brings up 2nd down and 6 as the clock continues to run.
Yeah, they're not going to be in a hurry to snap this ball.
And now China Spring finds themselves in the same position that Lorena did, trying to score and not leave any time on the clock.
Gain of about 3 on the play, 2nd down.
2:23. They say a gain of 2 on the play, brings a 2nd down and 8. Low snap, gives it to Abdallah, trying to run wide. He gets a block. Look out. Slips a tackle down to the 5. He is near the end zone, and the official marks him out of bounds at around the 2 or 3 yard line on the far side of the field.
And it looked like there was a block in the back. We have a leopard down in the backfield as well.
No flag down on the play.
Is that number 44, Elijah Borman, down?
So with the momentary stoppage in play, we'll go ahead and take a commercial break as well. The score is China Spring 21, Lorena 7, 2:12 remaining before halftime. You're listening to the Lorena Leopards football broadcast on CTSN, sponsored by Syntex Pond.
Are you in the market for a safe and therapeutic walk-in spa built right into your existing bathroom? Family-owned and operated Walk-In Tubs of Texas sells and installs top-quality national brand walk-in tubs for thousands less than the competition. Our low overhead enables us to save you thousands of dollars. Financing and low monthly payments available with good credit. Call or text 254-420-7541 for a free estimate. That's 254-420-7541. Go online at tubsoftexas.com. Walk in Tubs of Texas.
Welcome back to Cougar Stadium. Play has resumed. 2:12 remaining on the clock. China Spring loading up. Faulkner has the snap, hands it off to Abdallah. He's up the middle, and he is close to the end zone, and the official says touchdown.
Emmanuel Abdallah on the carry from 2 yards out. Takes the lead for a Cougar touchdown.
Looks like we have some unsportsmanlike conduct going on. We have a flag thrown in the back of the end zone. It's almost gut check time. We need to get some points on the board before halftime. 2:08 left, plenty of time to score.
It's unsportsmanlike conduct against Lorena.
Wow.
Well, and the problem with that is that it will allow China Spring to kick the ball off from around their would that be the Lorena 45?
No, it looks like the head official, he just signaled the wrong way. The referee pointed towards China Spring's way, so it looks like it was unsportsmanlike on China Spring.
Okay. The guy that signaled to this side definitely pointed to Lorena, so
He definitely did.
maybe he got confused when he turned around. Well, China Spring up 27-7 over Lorena. Extra point pending. Here's the kick. On the way. It is good.
I'll tell you what, Zane Grimm's going to block one of those kicks. He's coming off that edge really fast and getting close pretty much every time. He's going to block one. 28-7, 2:08 remaining in the second quarter. Lorena, we need some points on the board, David. 2:08 is plenty of time for this offense. I've been interested to see. We've been running that spread, and everybody, 4 or 5 wide, 2 in the backfield. The 2 in the backfield this year is an extra blocker almost. We lost a lot on the offensive line, and so it's almost like we realized we got to have that extra blocker to give line a little bit more time. Because I remember we had 2 AJs in the backfield last year, running that pro set, and 2 running backs and the quarterback in the backfield.
Yeah, and in some sense, I almost question the numbers. That China Spring looks to me like they have more people back than maybe was said. I don't know if that's true or not, but they certainly look polished on their offense.
Yeah, they really do. Got to give credit where credit is due on that one.
Time always back to receive a kick. Trouble seeing the far side of the field. It's a little dark. Is that 8? Colton Dale, or is that 6? Cade Walker. Is it 8? Cut that light on the glare on the windows. A little better. So China Spring actually kicking from their own 25. This ball will be caught at the 25, now dropped, picked up at the 30, 35-40, 45 up near the 48-yard line.
Yeah, and that was number 8, Colton Dale, on the reception, on the return. Way to remain under control. You know, sometimes when that ball leaks loose, you get kind of panicky. He showed some poise, picked it up, and turned it into a good return. So, you know, you're looking at a 53-yard, 55 yards, something away from the field instead of, you know, trying to go 80 with 2 minutes left.
Yeah, you're right. That's important here. So, okay, interestingly enough now, they do switch positions. So why they waited, I don't know, but they do switch sides of the field. So Lorena receives it right to left, and now the officials spot the ball, and Lorena will go from left to right towards the lighted into the field. Line is alone in the backfield for the first time tonight. Throws the ball out. It is tipped and intercepted. China Spring catches the ball at the 49 and falls forward to the 50-yard line. And just nothing going right now for your Leopards.
Yeah, that's a big issue. With the way China Spring has been moving the ball, you know, 157 is a lot of time.
Yeah, this game could get, it's close to being out of hand right now at 3 scores, but boy, think about this. The China Spring on the last drive only had to go 36 yards, and now they face 50 yards, so they could literally put 14 points on the board and only have traveled 86 yards combined. 1:57 left before halftime on the Gail Kelly scoreboard, sponsored by Billy Kelly CPA. Faulkner is waiting. No, actually, that's not Faulkner. That's Bowden again. He's got the 50, slips the tackle 45, 40, and he's out of bounds around the 35-yard line after a first down, a pickup of about 15 on the carry. And I'll tell you what, between Peoples and Abdallah and Bowden, they've got some serious talent back there in the backfield.
Pretty speedy guys, for sure.
First and 10 for China Spring. Clock runs at 1:40 left before halftime. Lorena just trying to hang on right now, down 28-7. Faulkner has a snap. He's going to run it. 35, or yeah, that is Faulkner. His knee goes down around the 30. Well, you can see they spot him at the 29. So he's short of a first down by about 4 yards.
China Spring with only 1 timeout remaining. That clock's running down 118, 117, 116. Not in a gigantic hurry to get to the line of scrimmage.
Here's Faulkner now. They're starting to press. Throws it out in the flat. It's caught 25. Tackled down near the 21-yard line. It is enough for a first down, and that will temporarily stop the clock at 1:05 left before halftime. How about a pick 6 right now?
I'll take a pick 6. I'll take a stop. 5 points before halftime.
Clock continues to run now inside a minute. You're going to hand it off to Abdallah. He's got the 20 and down to the 17 or 18-yard line. I'm going to say the 18, so a pickup of about 3. And now China Spring will finally use that timeout.
Interesting. I would have tried to get up to the line of scrimmage and try to get off one more play. But we'll gladly let it go here and come out and get a stop. Take time to catch our breath. Come out, call a good set, get a stop.
Well, we got a moment. Let's go ahead and take a break here in the booth as well. 28-7 the score. 49 seconds before halftime. Listen to Lorena Leopards football on CTSN, sponsored by Syntex Pond.
Boasts the highest quality customer service in the pond business. Syntex Pond loans more than the competition and has great retail prices on used goods. With locations in Waco, Temple, and now Hewitt, Syntex Pond is there when you need them. Visit 801 East Waco Drive in Waco or 1402 West Adams Avenue in Temple, and the brand new location at 520 North Hewitt Drive. Customer service, higher loans, and great retail prices. That's Syntex Pond.
Welcome back into Cougar Stadium. Dave Gibson along Chris Fuentes, Cody Kellner, and Ben Huey is our cameraman this evening. So play Gibson on the board. And 49 seconds before halftime, 28-7 now. Second down and 7, the ball in the 19 for the Cougars. They're trying to add to that already 21-point lead, and they have a man jump offside and run about 5 yards downfield, and nobody else had moved. So that's going to be offsides or a false start against the Cougars.
Not exactly what you look for coming out of the timeout.
No, I'm afraid you won't
take it.
We won't want to see that one on film either. I won't mention his name. So that'll move the ball back now. Instead of 2nd and 7, they face 2nd and 12. The ball moved back to the 24-yard line. Lorena trying to get to halftime. Down 28-7. Faulkner's looking to throw across the middle. Has a man there. It's thrown. It's caught down near the 6-yard line. A flag comes in as there was a clear face mask. And that was KJ Peoples once again, and
Penalty marker
everything
down.
going right for China Spring right now.
Man, we've said his name too much tonight so far. 41 seconds remaining on the clock before halftime. Ball on the, it's like just outside of the 5.
Callan Weaver checking in along with Andrew Britton for the Lorena defense.
Face mask. Defense.
We've got a defensive face mask, so half the distance to the goal. Bring ball first down and goal from just outside the 2-yard line.
So here we go. China Spring. And they don't have a timeout to give, but somehow Faulkner runs over, talks to Coach Bell.
Why is the play clock not moving at all?
I don't understand this at all. But nevertheless, 41 seconds as the clock is stopped. It's 1st and 10 from the 3, and it's going to take quite a defensive stand here to keep China Spring out of the end zone.
The play clock is still not moving.
Strong front again. Hands off to Abdallah. He's hitting the backfield. Big stop by Lorena on that play. He'll lose a couple of yards back to the 5.
Run, clock, run.
Abdallah on the
30
carry.
seconds left.
That's exactly right. No timeouts left for China Spring. 27-26. They're going to have to hurry to get a playoff. Let's go Leopards. Keep them out of the end zone and keep this game as close as we can. Once again, a big formation for China Spring. Faulkner's got the ball, throws toward the end zone, and it will be incomplete. No flag on the play. That will stop the clock with 12 seconds remaining. Bring up 3rd down and 5. And boy, how big would it be just to get to halftime at this point without giving up any points?
Yeah, that was some pretty darn good coverage from somebody who was about 6 inches taller than number 8, Colton Dale for the Leopards.
12 seconds remaining. 3rd down and 5. You've got to think that the next 2 plays are passes if they don't get it in on the first one. Hopefully the Leopards can stand up big right here. 3rd down and 5. Man goes in motion to the far side of the field. Faulkner has it. Running to the near side. He's going to throw it. It is caught for the touchdown.
7 seconds left. Man.
So 34-7 here right before halftime.
Faulkner's pass is
And it has gotten quiet on the near side of the field.
Yeah, it really has. You know, and you got to think, where do you go from here? Offensively, what we've done has not worked. We've tried to mix in the pass and the run. It worked for one possession where we kind of upped the tempo. We're trying to get to the line of scrimmage and snap the ball real quick.
Kick is on the way, and the kick is good. So 35-7 now. Lorena on top with 7 seconds remaining on the Gail Kelly scoreboard before halftime. We'll have halftime stats for you coming up after the second quarter expires, and I'm sure that'll have quite a bit to say about what things will look like on the field.
Yeah, you know, and just looking at the stats, David, with 4:13 remaining in the half, it was a 14-7 game. And it's turned around. They've scored 3 unanswered touchdowns in the last 4 minutes and 6 seconds since their 7 seconds
Wow.
left.
Well, clearly that's the difference in the ball game right now. And,
Absolutely.
you know, yeah, just a lot of breaks not going Lorena's way. Of course, you know, you want to think that you make your own breaks, but tip ball, interceptions, and just not the timing's not really there for the offense yet. So China Spring will kick off with 7 seconds remaining before halftime. Ty Moore back to receive the kick. Got Cade Walker on the far side. Here's the kick. It's going towards Walker's side. He'll catch it at the 14. Up to the 20, to the 25. Slips a tackle 30. And he'll be dragged down around the 36-yard line as the clock expires. And that'll take us to halftime, where Lorena's in a hole. No other way to say it, down 35-7. And they'll see if they can go to halftime and maybe collect themselves and come up with a plan for the second half to try to get back in this football game.
Yeah, you know, there's going to be some positive conversations going on at halftime, building the kids up. It's the first game of the year. You know, you don't want to, you know, give up. Obviously, there's a lot of football to be played. Can we come out and make something out of the first possession? in the second half.
Yep.
We get the ball, so we have a chance to come out and be positive.
Right, and at this point, obviously this isn't a district game, right?
Right.
So it doesn't even play into whether or not you might make the playoffs. But
Right.
so at this point, you're trying to find something that works.
Yeah.
What is your identity going to be going forward? Is it going to be that power running game that we saw? Is it going to be the offense that we're more used to out of last season? It does appear, though, that they're going to need a second back in the backfield to help out that blocking.
Yeah, having two AJs last season, you had the speed, you had the quickness, you had the power. You lose half of that, your dynamics change, obviously. And, losing the offensive line, what we lost, there's some experience needed.
Good evening.
There's a difference in going from JV football to varsity football, right?
Absolutely.
There's a learning curve that has to be taken into consideration. So,
Tell you what, we're going to go ahead and we'll come back in a little bit with some thoughts and some stats, some interesting stats from the China Springs side, and see if we can't get a little handle on this, what happened exactly in the first half as your Leopards band, that Leopard band takes the field. We'll go ahead and take some commercial breaks here. You're listening to Lorena Leopards football on CTXN, sponsored by Syntex Pond.
Is sophomore Maddie Whitley. The Legacy Dancer of the Week is sophomore Emma Noble. Captain, is your team ready? Drum majors for the Lorena High School Marching Band are Kenna Province, Olivia Johnson, Carson Ford, and Shelby Schloud. Featured performers this evening include Braden Butler, Meg Kuchera, Kenna Province, and Cassidy Robinson. And now the pride of Lorena is proud to present part of its 2019 production, Raptor.
Now they're getting that FaceTime going with that baby.
Lorena High School Band would like to thank our boosters, administrators, and the entire Leopard Nation for their continued support.
Yards a carry. Do you attempt to try to slow this game down, let play clock run, and get up and take your 5 yards a carry and go from there? It'll be interesting to watch. Turnovers. Obviously, you had one big one for the Leopards just before halftime, which China Spring converted into a touchdown.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting is obviously you never want to say the game is over at halftime,
Right.
but at this point, you really do want to go figure out what your identity is as much as you possibly can in the half of a single game. And this is about building confidence. I liked what Cody Lewis said at halftime. He said, this is we're time to find out what we're made of. And you know what? Honestly, as much as everybody wants to win and we play to win,
Right.
This is the moment where the kind of training that the Leopards have had and the kind of coaching staffs that they play for and the community that they've grown up in, this is the kind of moment where that shines. And I will be utterly surprised if they don't come out here and give it 110% effort and play better and maybe do find a little bit of their own identity in the second half.
That's absolutely right. And, one thing I like to point out, everybody thinks, oh, China Spring, Lorena, same district. That's not the case anymore.
Right.
We've split divisions and are Division 2 while China Springs Division 1 with La Vega. You've got a couple of weeks to get it figured out before district play because that's what it comes down to. You're looking for a playoff berth.
Right.
You've got 4 weeks to figure it out before district rolls around.
Right.
So as much as we want to win this game, and, I'm still in on us coming back and performing well in the second half.
Right.
But you can find some things, like you said, find your identity. You can work on things like that and figure out what's working and what's not and what you need to tweak going into next week and go from there.
And, my thought is those guys have shown up and practiced. And I know that all high schools have, but, man, at Lorena, They're committed. Those kids show up. They work hard. There's no way they're sitting in that locker right now hanging their head.
No,
they're in there
not.
going, hey, we've worked way too hard for this. And they're going to come out. We're looking ahead at the schedule a little bit. Obviously, this game hasn't gone like we wanted it to. Hopefully that second half changes that. But we're facing the same non-district opponents that we did last year.
Yep.
And, next week we're going to face Franklin. Obviously, they're that power running game, that veer-type running game. They're going to bring a lot of beef at you. How do you think right now, what do you see with Lorena's defense and how we might match up against that?
So it's going to come down to that disciplined defense. It's going to be making the right reads. Are they pitching? Are you staying home? Are you keeping an eye on the right person before that pitch comes? Because, like you said, they run that veer. They don't pass the ball much.
No.
And so it's going to be, can you make a tackle in open space? And that's what it's going to come down to. Last year it was a 30-20 game. It was close the entire time. And that quick scoring offense from Lorena paid off. So we've got to figure out what we can do.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I'm being kind of blown out here by Vanilla Ice.
Well, we're 14 minutes away from getting to see some more football, which is, it's been such a crazy night. We've maybe lost a little perspective. It's football season, man.
That's right.
It's Friday night. It's fall time and it's blazing hot, but it's football season. And these Leopards they're going to show up, and those youngsters are going to mature and improve. And you just watch and see. This team they'll rise to the occasion. They'll be there when it's time for playoff time. We're going to go ahead and take a commercial break. Got about 13 minutes left in the halftime. Lorena is down big right now, 35-7. You are listening to the Lorena Leopards football broadcast on CTSN, sponsored by Syntex Pump. Welcome back to Cougar Stadium. We're 5 minutes away from this third quarter kicking off again. I'm David Gibson alongside Chris Fuentes, Cody Kellner, our statistician for this season. Ben Huey will be our cameraman. Clay Gibson's on the board and producer of the show, and he's been fighting the fates and the elements this evening. As it seems just about every single issue we could possibly have has shown up, as well as ones that are on the football field itself. Lights going off, and of course, you know what time is it right now? It's 9:21. This has almost been a 2-hour first half and halftime. That's a long halftime. I mean, it's a long first half.
It really is, especially with as much as China Springs doing on the ground. I mean,
yeah, good
a
point.
lot of it, you think the clock's moving, but with the issues going on, with the lights going out, things like that, it's wearing on us for sure. I did want to take a moment with 4 minutes remaining in halftime. Did want to go over some local scores. At the half, University up 14-7 over Waco High. 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter, Euless Trinity up 14-7 over Midway. Austin Westlake up 34-0 on Belton at half.
This would be the radio broadcast, so they're not. It wouldn't go out over the stadium. Sorry, we just had a parent come in and ask us to make an announcement that we really don't have the ability to make. You know, Chris, reading through those stats, a huge one that we just sort of kind of glanced over is that University of Waco High score. For University to be up on Waco High it's not going to shut all the way, Chris. We got covered. For University to be up on Waco High, that's a big deal.
For sure. You know, they had been winless for the past couple years and won 3 games last year. And then
you know, I've heard a lot. Rodney Smith's the coach over there now.
Yep.
I've heard a lot of good things about what he's doing.
That's a Baylor alum.
It is a Baylor alum. He's building it up from the ground up there, and it's become about a character program. And you know, clearly they're starting to make some progress.
Yeah, for sure. Wanted to finish up with a couple of other scores. Round Rock Cedar Ridge up 28-15 over Temple. La Vega up 14-0 over Medina Valley with 5 minutes left in the third. Gatesville loses to Midlothian Heritage 35-0. Fairfield up 28-20 over Rusk. So there's a district score. Mejia and Cameron Yo tied at 14 at half. Robinson up 21-7 over Taylor in the third quarter. Conley up 26-20. There's another district score, 26-20 over Palestine with 9 minutes left in the third. Rice up 17-7 over Grosbeck. Marlin up 14-7 or down 14-7 to McGregor, and Tig tied with Malakoff at 14. So we're sitting at about 1 minute and 38 seconds left until halftime.
1:38 till we find out, you know, how the Leopards are going to fare here in the second half. You know, Chris, looking back through that schedule, we left off kind of talking about Franklin.
Yep.
Lampasas last year, a pretty good matchup for Lorena. That big, strong running game as well as a good passing game. Lorena was just too strong for him, but that has the potential, especially being at Lampasas, to be a big game.
For sure. I think, you know, at this point, obviously every game is important and it matters. And, you know, once we roll around to TIG on the 20th of September, that's when district starts. TIG is district, correct?
No. TIG is our first district game is Fairfield. Yeah,
at Fairfield.
Right.
Okay.
So,
forgot it was 4.
Cody, would you go ahead and hit that switch again for us? Right. So after Fairfield, have Connolly at home, and Connolly looks to be like they're going to be pretty tough this year. Then go at Robinson, have Salado at home, and then get an open week October 25th, followed up by going to Madisonville and then bringing Mejia into Leopard Stadium. You know, that Mejia game was a little earlier in the year last year. That's the game where was the last game of the year. Okay, I just remember that's the game where they clinched. Look at that score, 64-9 last year. That was a dominating performance to clinch the district.
Yeah, it was.
District championship. So China Springs actually back out on the field. I don't see the Leopards yet.
I don't see us in the tunnel either.
I mean, maybe they're in there peeling the paint off the wall.
Interesting.
If you're just joining us, we're at halftime here in at Cougar Stadium here in China Spring. Lorena down big, down 35-7. Just everything that could possibly go wrong, really, in the first half went wrong. Struggled to handle that China Spring defensive front, and then managed to start finding things, and then sort of errors and bad breaks, tip ball, interceptions, etc. And here come the Leopards. They're lining up behind the tunnel now.
But when you think turnovers and stuff like that, we only had one, and so it was the interception that went into a quick touchdown.
Right.
Other than that, it's just been 3 and outs, punts. We had the fourth down pull where we took off and had the fake punt almost, and we turned it over.
Which is basically like a turnover, right?
Right. So, I mean, with, a good portion into the second half, it was a 14-7 one-possession game. So, the Leopards are entering back on the field. China Spring's ready to kick.
Yeah, they are. They're already lined up to kick, and the Leopards, they appear to have some energy. We'll see what happens. They're all appear to be rallying around Robert Niffen, I believe, the offensive lineman. Maybe he gave a halftime speech, but they're all sort of centered around him. And, one good thing that we talked about earlier, but we haven't talked recently, Chris, and that's that Lorena gets the ball.
Yep.
So, you're down 28 points, but you do have a chance to cut into it right away.
Yeah, and you've got to come out and do something with the ball here. There's 24 minutes left of gameplay. These teams move the ball really fast. That's what we're used to for sure. You know what? And one thing, as I'm looking at the sideline, I don't see hands on hips. I don't see, helmets off. I don't see, looking down at the ground. I see a team that looks like they're into the game still.
Colton Dell, the sophomore, will be returning alongside Ty Moore. They stand at the 12 or 13-yard line. China Spring ready to get things underway. Here comes the kick. It is a wobbly kick to the near sideline. Going to be caught on the fly by Dale. He's up to the 20, trying to get up the middle of the field, 25, 30, and he will be pushed back there after making the 31-yard line. So Lorena takes over there 1st and 10.
All right. I'm feeling some tempo here. We got to get up to the line of scrimmage, keep this defense on their toes, and make some quick decisions.
I want to remind you that our broadcast this year brought to you by Syntex Pawn. Customer service, higher loans, and great retail prices. That is Syntex Pawn. We appreciate Cody Lewis for sponsoring the broadcast, being the lead sponsor this year. So here come the Leopards out of the huddle. It's Bradley Lina and A.J. Brim in the backfield. Makes you wonder if they're going to go back to that power running game. 2 wide receivers to the right side, 2 to the left. And whistles blow.
Looks like we had to delay a game.
So delay a game against the Leopards. Will push them back 5 yards, and they'll take over just outside the 25. Well, they'll resume play just outside the 25.
That was a really quick 25 seconds.
Did seem like it, but it might have been that the clock was running while they were on the sideline. I don't know. I agree with you. That was very quick. Line is running to the near side. He slips a tackle and can't get much. He's going to maybe lose even a half a yard. The ball's at the 25-yard line. They need the 41 for the first down. That's going to bring up 2nd and 15.
Yeah, a lot of pressure in the backfield. I think they're read and run right now. So they're going to stack a lot in the box and put pressure.
Rhett Hansen split out wide to the left. Actually, to the right. Now he goes in motion. Line under pressure. He's in trouble in the backfield, slips a tackle, throws the ball downfield, has a man there, Ty Moore, but it's out of bounds, incomplete. Ty Moore's got behind a couple of China Spring defenders, but the pass sailed out of bounds as Bradley Lina was running for his life.
Yeah, there was some pretty good pressure coming off the edge there. Lina, last year we saw Lina on the run a lot, and he would look very comfortable throwing the ball on the run.
Yeah.
Just didn't really get a chance to have his feet set there. But I think he was going the opposite way. He had to throw across his body, which made it a little more difficult.
So China Spring finds themselves in a situation they're not really built for right now. Direct snap to the running back. Up across the 30 to the 35 and trying to fight his way forward to the 36, but he'll be a solid 5 yards short of the first down. We'll hope the punting situation as Ty Moore comes back on to punt, but not the way you wanted to start the second half, Chris.
No, definitely not. But, that last play showed me something. I feel like we talked about averaging almost 5 yards a carry, and when we were handing it off to Brim, he's been pretty successful so far. I'd do some things and try to feed him the ball until we're not getting positive yardage, because I feel like every time he's carried the ball, it's been a good thing.
Here's the snap. Ty Moore. This time he's going to punt it away. End over end kick. Going to bounce at the 33. Now bounce and be picked up at the 30. 35-40. And up near the 44-yard line. An aggressive play there by the return man as he raced in at the last moment, picked up the ball, and managed to pick up a nice chunk there. China Spring takes over at their own 44.
Yeah, that was a pretty quick. That was a pretty quick decision there. You don't like to try to field punts on the run, but he did there, and it ended up working out for him. So the Leopards come out and need a stop here. Ball on the 44-yard line of China Spring.
Faulkner and Abdallah in the backfield. Man goes in motion, now stops and turns back. Gives it to Abdallah up the middle, 45-50. Down into Lorena territory to the 46, nearly a first down. Going to be very close.
Yeah, they're just getting yards in chunks here, aren't they?
And the official does say first down. So, so far the second half starting off like the first ended. Let's see if the Lorena can't stand up and get a stop here. Faulkner and Abdallah in the backfield. Faulkner is getting the play from the sideline. Now walks up. Tells his offensive line what's going on. And now will snap and get the ball. Throw it out in the flat. Caught at the 38-yard line. That's enough for well, it's not quite a first down. Going to bring up second down and about 3.
Yeah, and the coverage has been there. It's not like they're getting the ball on the reception and just having Green in front of them. It's them making plays, and I'm impressed with the coverage so far.
Fumbled snap. Faulkner's trying to pick it up, and he will fall on it back at his own 50-yard line. They'll lose a good solid 13 yards or so.
Yeah, there's a bit of a break. So, looking at 3rd and 15 here, so you get a stop here, get the ball back, and turn it into a positive.
I think the story of the ball game so far really has to be Faulkner's development. His timing on his passes, his ability to stand in the pocket and throw, he has really been excellent so far. He throws the ball out here. It's caught at the 45 by Peoples. He's trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, and Lorena wrestles him down for another loss of about a yard.
Yep.
So
and there's some good team tackling there. When you think of a ball going out wide to the fastest player on the field, it's going to come down to one defender making a tackle in the open field. And yet we had the defensive back make some contact, and then 3 other people came in and made the tackle. So that shows me effort right there.
So the fumbled snap and some aggressive defense by Lorena results in a stop, a defensive stop. I want to remind you, defensive stops tonight brought to you by Walk-In Tubs of Texas, for safety, for therapy, and for pleasure. China Spring ready to punt. Kicker stands at his own 36-yard line. Helmet high snap. He'll kick it away towards the far side of the field. It bounces at the Lorena 30 and out of bounds. Or does it stay in bounds?
That stayed in.
Wow. That thing turned on a dime, didn't it?
Yeah, it looked like it was floating out to me, and then it just died and rolled back, towards the center of the field.
So, yeah, they'll spot that ball. Looks like around the 21-yard line.
Yep.
Okay, so here comes the Leopards. That offensive line. We've got Jacob Turley, Zach Tier, James Dixon, Chris Baker, and Kylan Bernardi. Here go the Leopards. Up the middle. 35-40. 45 and down to the 46-yard line. And, Chris, you mentioned it earlier. A.J. Brim running hard. And it looks like they may need to get on his back as he does get up a little bit gimpy.
Yeah, he is clutching. Looks like just the inner thigh right now. I did want to mention, that run game, like I said, has worked when we've done it. I would stick with it here, even though Brim is out. I'd try to attack that middle.
Here we go. China Spring with the ball. They hand it off, hitting the backfield, trying to fight his way forward up across the 45 to the 46. Maybe a pickup of one. That's going to be Red Hansen, the sophomore running back.
Yeah, there was definitely some good push by the defense there.
Blake Higgins is operating as the up back, the blocking back for Lorena. He's had to be in there for most of the football game. Lina takes the snap, flags fly, and they'll blow it dead. Looks like a false start.
Man, and I don't know what China Spring was doing defensively, but they left McCray Lewis wide open up the seam, and I mean there was nobody covering. The linebacker had turned inside towards the line of scrimmage, and he was wide open, not even being covered up at all.
So here we go. Lina stands up and looks to the sideline. He's getting the play. Red Hansen in the backfield, along with Blake Higgins. Higgins is the up back.
Lewis is getting a lot of space.
Lina is looking his way. Throws it out in the flat. He's hit as he tries to catch it. That was intended for Blake Higgins, but it falls incomplete. And I tell you what, you don't want to, much as you hate to say good things about your opponent, you've got to credit them. They're just all over everything right now.
Yeah.
That'll bring up third down and 14. Third down and 14. Lorena needs the 45 of China Spring. The ball is currently marked at Lorena's 41. So they keep finding themselves in these situations where Bradley needs to have time to throw, and they just aren't able to. So it looks like China Spring's bringing some heat. Line is on a rollout. He's under a lot of pressure. He's going to throw the ball downfield. Looks like it could be picked off, and it is by Peoples up around the 20-yard line. He's finally wrestled down up near the 25. Lina just trying to make something happen, and honestly, that's about as good as a punt.
Yeah.
There's a flag down.
I didn't see where the flag was thrown.
It looks like interference. I'm waiting to see.
Wow. Looks like some of the Leopards are clapping, so it might be a first down.
Lina's coming back on the field. So pass interference against the Cougars, and that's a nice break. Gives the Leopards a chance to try it again. And so they'll stay back out there. Brim.
Yeah, we got to make that. We got to turn this into a positive.
Right. Will Teague on the far side of the field. McCray Lewis and Ty Moore on the near side of the field. And what is going on? They're going to.
I think they're marking back the original line of scrimmage.
Okay, so a 15-yard penalty.
Yes,
okay.
Sir.
And fortunately, it's a 15-yard penalty when they needed 14 to gain the line for first down, so they get it. 1st and 10. Just a reminder real quick, first downs this season brought to you by Jesse Britt Automotive. Here come the Leopards. Brim and Higgins in the backfield with Lina. McCray Lewis goes in motion. They give it to Brim up the gut. He's running hard again. He has the 40-yard line. They'll spot him just outside the 40. Pickup of about 4 on the carry, 3 or 4.
Man, I'd keep feeding him until he can't carry it anymore. He's been the most successful offensive player we've had tonight.
Yeah.
So I'd keep force feeding him.
The senior running back, he's seen a lot of success. I'm sure he wants to do everything he can to turn this thing around right now. Higgins and Brim in the backfield again with Lina. Brim to the right. They fake it to him. Lina's going to keep it this time. Ball came out, and it looks like China Spring has it.
It looked like it just popped up and went straight to the defender.
And it does indeed go over to China Spring. So 5:57 remaining here in the third quarter of play. Another break goes China Spring's way as the Leopards find themselves down 35-7. We'll go ahead and keep it here. Any other updates on those scores?
Let me pull them up.
Here comes China Spring. Faulkner has the snap. He's going to hand it to Abdallah, who's trying to get outside. He's got the 40 up to the 45, and he's spilled there by a couple of Lorena Leopards. I think that's Zane Grimm, as well as
like Will Teague. Nope. Julius Salazar.
Salazar.
Yeah, Salazar.
Well, that's weird. The first time I looked at that number, it looked like 49, and now it looks like 12, which it is. It's 12. Julius Salazar and Zane there to spill the running back. 2nd down and 5. They need the Lorena 49, and they have it at their own 46. Tight formation for China Spring. They've got Peoples here to the near side. Salazar's up tight on him. They give the ball to Abdallah. He's running to the far side. We have a flag in the backfield to the 50, 45, down to the 41-yard line.
Yeah, it was definitely a hold, David. So bring it back. It's going to, replay the down. It's going to be 2nd and 15.
5:07 remaining here with the stoppage of the clock for the penalty. 35-7, Lorena down. And they'll step it off. Looks like the spot of the foul was around the 46-yard line. They'll mark it back just inside the 36, and that'll bring up 2nd down and about 15.
We played pretty good defensively this half. They're not moving the ball on us a ton.
Here we go. China Spring fakes it to Abdallah. Run option near side. Keeper hitting the backfield and swarmed under, and that looks like that Lorena defense that we've been used to seeing. They're going to spot his forward progress at the 33, so he'll lose another 3 yards, and that'll bring up 3rd down and a long ride on the yellow dog.
Yeah, there's definitely been some good defense so far this half. We had 35 at halftime, still sitting at 35 halfway through the quarter. You got to think the ball's going to Peoples here.
Just painful to me that 4 minutes and 13 seconds this game was lost.
Yep.
Here we go. China Spring looking downfield, throw it. It's going to be actually incomplete. Up near the 1st down, it would have been short anyways. He had to go down to the ground to try to catch it at the 46 and of China Spring. They needed the Lorena 49. So that'll bring up a punting situation. And again, like you say, Chris, a little bit of positive momentum.
Absolutely. You've got 2 returners back there, so I'd be interested to see if do we resort to trickery and try to throw something back here, or are we just sending 2 back and seeing where the ball lands and just trying to run? I'd almost see us trying to pull something here to see if we can, a last-second thing to get back in the game.
Here's the kick. Low nose-up spiral. Going to be caught at the 30. Up to the 35. Great coverage that time by China Spring. He's down at the 40-yard line. That was
Zane Grimm on the return.
So Zane Grimm and Ty Moore were back that time to return the punt. Don't see a lot of teams do 2 receivers on a punt, but
no, that's why I thought there may be some trickery. Pass back and see if we can make a play happen.
I tell you what I do like about it is it keeps the team from being able to kick away from you.
Exactly.
So that's controlling the situation a little bit. 3 wide receivers to the near side. That's Ty Moore, McCray Lewis, and I believe that's Rhett Hansen. Grimm and Lina in the backfield. Lina has the snaps. Under pressure again. He's trying to get upfield. 40. Lost the ball downfield. Has a man just off his hands. Incomplete.
That was about as positive of a pass play we've had. And, Lina was on the run. You could tell he looked much more comfortable rolling out to his left compared to his right. And, placed the ball just above the fingertips of the receiver.
That was, I'm trying to get a number on that young man, 17?
No, Sam Ives.
Sam Ives, junior, wide receiver. He's lined up way outside the numbers to the left-hand side. Direct snap to Brim again. He struggles forward. He's going to make the 42. Not much more, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 8. And here's the issue with the offense, right? So without being able to get time for Lina, they're not passing it like they did last year. With that, China Spring's able to creep up, and now they're really starting to shut that running game down.
Right.
3 wide receivers to the near side. Lina's going to roll their way. We got a man wide open.
Oh, it's going to be picked.
Did he pick it?
Ty was. Nobody was near him.
So Ty Moore behind the secondary, and I think Lina was looking at the stick, which you certainly understand.
Yep.
That pass, though, there was quite a bit of coverage there. The ball was tipped and then intercepted. So intercepted by, one more time on that, Colton Locking for China Spring. So China Spring's going to take over at the 50. How many turnovers is that now?
That's
3 or 4?
That's just the sec. Well,
no, we had Lina fumbled on the last one.
Yeah, so
and then
that's
that one.
Third. One in the first half, 2 in the second half so far.
And if you count the turn, it wasn't a turnover. But if you count the punt return, it probably shouldn't have. The punt fake, probably shouldn't have happened. It's
Yep.
been lots of mistakes. Pass out in the flat, caught by Abdallah. There's a flag down, or it looks like it might be holding. Abdallah's all the way down to the Lorena 41, close to the first down. We'll see what the officials say on the flag. 3:31 remaining on the Gail Kelly scoreboard, sponsored by Billy Kelly CPA. Appreciate Billy and sponsoring the scoreboard this season in honor of his mom. 20-year teaching veteran of Lorena. Billy, a proud graduate as well. So it is holding against the Leopards. Ball's going to be moved back to the 40-yard line. Brings up second down and 20. 3 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. That's Abdallah and Faulkner in the backfield. Trying to find Peoples. Is that him on the near sideline here? Just outside the number. Salazar right up on him.
Yep.
Faulkner running the option to the far side. He will pitch it to Abdallah. 40, 45, 50, down to the 48-yard line. He'll get about 12 of those 20 back, so that'll bring up second down and 8 as the clock continues to run.
Yeah,
3:18 in the third quarter. Lorena down 35-7.
And it looks like China Springs trying to take advantage of their speed they've got in the backfield. You know, they line up strong side and are running away from it a lot.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's coming down to, can we make a tackle in space?
Well, and, you know, you think at this point, too, they're kind of trying to run out the clock as quickly as possible. They're keeping it on the ground a lot. Now they'll throw, though. As I say that, Faulkner's under pressure. He'll throw the ball. Caught inside the 40 by Peoples, 35 down to the 33-yard line. Tackled on the play by, let's see, that's Jackson Pitts. And be a first down. So
yeah, and this is, you know, this 3 minutes left in the third quarter. You know, this is the first sustained drive that they've had all half. That we really haven't been playing bad defensively.
right.
That 4 minutes and 7 seconds, where they scored 21 unanswered, is what's killing us
Faulkner
right now.
hands it to Abdallah. He's up the middle, got a lot of room down inside the 30 near the 25-yard line. They'll spot him all the way down to the 24. And that's going to bring up second down and about 1.
Yeah, they're starting to gash. You know, they had a lot of plays in the first half, and so you got to think that defense is starting to get a little gassed.
People's out here kind of by himself. Salazar's trying to cheat on the run, too, and take away that interior pass. Here's a hand up the middle. Trouble. 10, 5. Fumble the ball into the end zone.
That's a touchback.
And that should be a touchback, depending on if the official will see. Yep, they rule a touchback. What a play. Was that Salazar or was that Zane?
I did not get a number. I had some.
I think
some
it might have been.
Stand up in front of me.
It's hard to see, but I think that might have been Zane Grimm.
Yeah.
The way he's jumping around. Yeah.
He's
I think
the
that
one
was
getting
Zane.
the pats on the helmet.
You know, right now, it's as difficult as the game has been. He has certainly been a bright spot. That hit in the first half was furious. I mean, he absolutely laid the wood. And doing lots of good things here tonight.
Yeah, you know, he was the newcomer. If you'll remember, he was the newcomer of the year defensively in the district last year. So,
yeah,
you know, 121 tackles. The guy can play some football.
Well, and you know what you got to love about him? He's not a big kid.
Yep.
I mean, he's not, you know, but he absolutely gets everything out of that body he can. So, nice break there for Lorena. They get the ball at the 20-yard line on the touchback, and here they come off the sideline. Ty Moore lined up in the slot. McCray Lewis lined up outside the numbers on the near side. Lina and Bram alone in the backfield. Man comes in motion. Lina's in trouble. He steps up. He throws it out. It's caught. 25, 30, 31-yard line. That time by Red Hansen. You got to like what you see out of Red. You know, he's just a sophomore, and as I look down this roster, there's a lot of really sophomores who are already starting to really contribute.
Yeah, for sure. And that's a good thing for, you know, you talk about building for the future. There's that program and institution, you know, kids coming up.
So, not sure exactly. Well, okay, 1st and 10 is what happened. Now the ball's at the 31. They hand it off inside, up across the 35, down near the 39-yard line where Bram was spilled. Close to a first down. He pops up.
Yeah, two really good positive plays on this drive. You know, there's a lot of effort. There's some things that you can gain from this. Even though you're down by 4 possessions, there are some things that you can, you put together a sustained drive and score. That's something that could be positive going into next week.
Clock dips inside a minute here left in the third quarter. Lorena down 35-7. Lina throws it out. Caught across the 40, 45, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 10, 5. Oh, and just tripped up inside the 10-yard line. We just mentioned his name, Rhett Hansen, on a quick pop pass out in the flat, turns it into a huge gainer.
Yep, and he showed off the speed there. Made the catch, made a man miss, and outran the defender.
Lorena quickly downfield, already snapping the ball, hands it off inside to Bram, pounding his way inside the 5-yard line. He's short of the end zone, about down by the 3-yard line. They cannot pick up another first down, so that brings up second down and goal.
I like that tempo, David. It seemed like Rhett had just gotten up, and they were ready to snap the ball. It almost seemed. I almost talked over your play call.
How long was that run by that Hansen? 56-yard pass play to Hansen. Throw towards the end zone. It is caught by Ty Moore. Touchdown, Lorena.
Great play. Great drive. Touchdown by Ty Moore. There's that wide receiver we've been looking for all game. Looks like there is a hobbled leopard coming off the field. Looks like number 55, Caden Miller.
Caden Miller being 10-2 off the sideline. He was able to make it off the field. Bradley Lina back awaiting the extra point. Somebody throws the tee in from the sideline about a good 30 yards. Now the tee is down. And Sam Ives back there to hold. Here comes the snap. Ives has it, puts it on the ground. Lina swings his leg. It's a good kick right through the uprights. And the score is now China Spring 35, Lorena 14 with 10 seconds remaining in the third quarter of play. While we've got a chance, let's go ahead and take a commercial break. You are listening to the Lorena Leopards football broadcast on CTSN, sponsored by Syntex Pond.
Syntex Pond boasts the highest quality customer service in the pond business. Syntex Pond loans more than the competition and has great retail prices on used goods. With locations in Waco, Temple, and now Hewitt, Syntex Pond is there when you need them. Visit 801 East Waco Drive in Waco or 1402 West Adams Avenue in Temple, and the brand new location at 520 North Hewitt Drive. Customer service, higher loans, and great retail prices. That's Syntex Pond.
Welcome back into Cougar Stadium. Dave Gibson alongside Chris Fuentes. The Leopards get on the board here for the first time in a few quarters. They're down 35-14 with 10 seconds remaining in the third quarter of play. But a nice drive there, highlighted by a big catch and run by Rhett Hansen there that got the Leopard. It's down inside the red zone. Ty Moore running towards the ball. He will swing his leg and kick. Long, deep, high kick. Going to be fielded in the end zone. Dropped. And he'll run it out. Wow, 5. And he's going to be tackled at the 10-yard line.
Hey, give me a 3 and out here.
Yeah, there you go. And look at the sideline for Lorena bounce around a little bit.
That's right.
Cody Kellner, our statistician, brought up a good point while ago. He's saying that part of this game, a big part of the story of this game is China Springs' starting field position. How many times have they started at the 50 or better here in this football game?
That's a really good point.
And, yeah, go ahead.
Just, having the short field with the way that they've been running the ball,
right.
I mean, that's a huge positive for them.
Exactly. So here we go. Let's get a stop, Leopards. We still got a quarter to play. It's a 3-score game. Who knows? China Spring throws it out. It's caught near the 14-yard line. Fights his way all the way up to the 20. Wow, tough running by the wide receiver there after the catch. It'll bring up it's like maybe second down and 6.
And I'll give him a little bit of credit with the staying up a little bit, but I think that we were going for the strip there. It looks like we were trying to hold him up and go for
trying
the
to
strip.
get that
we're
ball
trying
back,
to force
baby.
The turnover. That's right.
Jordan Neverez, number 18 for China Spring on that catch and run. That will bring the third quarter to an end. It'll be second down and 1 when we come back. We'll go ahead and take another commercial break. You're listening to Lorena Leopards football on CTSN, sponsored by the good folks at Syntex Pond.
In the market for a safe and therapeutic walk-in spa built right into your existing bathroom? Family-owned and operated Walk-In Tubs of Texas sells and installs top-quality national brand walk-in tubs for thousands less than the competition. Our low overhead enables us to save you thousands of dollars. Financing and low monthly payments available with good credit. Call or text 254-420-7541 for a free estimate. That's 254-420-7541. Or go online at tubsoftexas.com. Walk-in Tubs of Texas.
Welcome back into Cougar Stadium. Lorena fresh off a score. It's 12 minutes left in the football game, but they're down 35-14. Got a little momentum right now. Let's see if we can't pick up a big stop. David Gibson alongside Chris Fuentes here in the booth. Cody Kellner joining us on stats. Clay Gibson on the is the producer, and Ben Huey on camera tonight. Second down and 1. Hands it off. Hitting the backfield. Will bounce it. Can they get to him before he makes the line? No, he tackles him back inside the 20-yard line. A nice tackle there. Couldn't get it out, Chris, but great play there by the Leopards to lose some more yards.
That's right, and I called a 3 and out, so we're going to get this stop here. We're going to get the ball back. Looks like we do have a China Spring Cougar down.
Is that
might be
Abdallah?
Peoples.
I'm thinking that might be Abdallah.
Is it? Yeah, you're right.
I won't say it yet. We are
taking advantage of the quick break. They're getting some water out and getting the Leopards hydrated. They can get this stop on 3rd and 4.
Isn't this a crazy game, though? Go ahead, Chris. How momentum can just change all of a sudden.
For the fans at home, I did want to mention that number 55, Caden Miller, was just put on the cart and rolled to the locker room. So prayers up for him.
Abdallah gets up. He was rolling around pretty good for a while there. Like maybe he tweaked an ankle or something. I don't believe he's allowed to stay on the field, is it? If it's an official timeout, so he'll have to come off. Which is nice on
3rd and short.
I was going to say, nice for a 3rd and 4. Wouldn't be surprised to see him bring in Bowden.
Yeah.
Bowden, but they do keep Faulkner in there. KJ Peoples, the wide receiver for China Spring, shifty, very quick. He's going to line up here to the near side. He's joined by Jacob Kuligowski. Very tight formation here for China Spring. They're facing 3rd down and 4, and Lorena trying to get a big stop. Still 11 minutes and 30 seconds left. Fakes the handoff. Faulkner in trouble. Throws it out in the flat. It's caught. Need an open field tackle. Flag comes in.
We got a hold.
We're going to have a hold, and Lorena tackles him short anyway, and that'll bring up 4th down. I fully expect Lorena to decline that penalty and get the ball back.
Absolutely. Momentum is swinging
Come
a little
on.
bit.
How about a kick return for a touchdown? Let's make this thing interesting right now.
That's right.
11 left in the game. It's got to be a sign, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, surely they don't accept that penalty, right? I mean, it's 3rd and it's they have the official had spotted the ball at the 16-yard line. They need the 20 or 21.
Yeah. Penalty was declined.
Penalty declined, and so China
4th
Spring
down.
will punt. And at least you would think they'll punt.
Yep.
Here we go. Now the punt team runs on. Ty Moore, Zane Grin back. I tell you what, I will be shocked if we don't see a really aggressive run by one of these two guys who picks up this punt. There's a lot of momentum right now brewing on this sideline.
And a really good chance at awesome field position for one of the first times in the game for us. We had to put together long drives to score.
And, Cody said it a few minutes ago. The difference in the game really has been starting field position. Here's the punt, almost blocked. It's going to bounce at the 44-yard line and head straight towards the sideline where China Spring will kill it. Excellent field position for your Leopards now at the 40-yard line.
Yes, sir. I'm looking for a quick hit here.
Let's go up the hash to McCray Lewis.
Absolutely.
Right now.
Let's do it.
Let's make this a two-score game with about 10 minutes left. Come on now.
Oh, no, with about 10 minutes and 45 seconds left.
I don't know.
I'm taking
there you go.
one play to the house.
Then we onside kick it, and we throw another pass, and then we onside kick it 3 more times and win the game.
Let's slow down a little bit.
All right. Bradley Line and A.J. Brim in the backfield. 3 wide receivers to the near side. One of them's Ty Moore. One of them is Michael Moore. Line is rolling to their side. He's going to step up and throw. He's
He's
got
open.
Ty Moore down there. It is caught for the touchdown. Chris called it. How much time's on the clock? 10:48. And the Leopards are back in this football game.
You know, one thing on that play, David, they did not send the pressure. Lina had time to roll, set his feet, get the ball in the air, and he made a play. They didn't guard Ty Moore, which is dangerous, but
yeah,
they didn't send people, and they're getting a little nervous over there for sure.
I guarantee you, if they're not, something's wrong. I better check their pulse. Bradley Line is back to kick the extra point, trying to bring this to a 2-score game with plenty of time left on the clock. Here's a snap, down on the ground, kick is on the way, and it is good. And your Lorena Leopards are back within 2 scores. Boy, who would have thought that a few minutes ago?
Me.
What do we have on that pass reception there, Cody?
44 yards.
44 yards from Bradley Lina to Ty Moore. And, you know, Ty's got 2 touchdowns now on the game.
Yep.
He's starting to wake up a little bit.
Yep, for sure.
Good point. Yeah, Cody brings to mind that it's 14 consecutive points here by the Leopards.
Yep.
And, wow, how can this – I mean, how a game turns.
Yep. I'm calling another 3 and out here, David.
You know, I'll be interested to see if Abdallah is back in the game.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If he can't go 100%, that changes a lot of what they can do.
Yeah, you could start to spy and keep up with Peoples, and that's your only concern, you know, or that's your biggest concern. Instead of a 2-headed monster, you've got down to 1.
Okay, I'm calling this right now. Here's what's going to happen. Zane Grimm, pick 6. Zane Grimm, pick 6. It's going to happen.
I'll take it.
All right. Here we go. 10:48 remaining. The Leopards have fought their way. And we talked about at halftime what kind of program and community this was.
Absolutely.
And here it is right here in front of us on the field. 10:48 remaining in the game. Lorena is down 35-21. They were down 35-7. And they have fought back hard here in the second half to try to get back in this football game. Here goes Ty Moore. He's going to kick it away. Deep kick. It's a high kick. It's going to be actually fielded around the 10. Up across the 15 to the 20. Hit, breaks the tackle, and up across the 25 to the 26-yard line. And that's where that Lorena Leopards will try to have another big stand.
All right, so I said 3 and out. You said pick 6. I'll take either one of those.
I'm going to think the percentages are probably in your favor on that one. Fire truck showing up here at the stadium, probably trying to put out this Lorena offense who has suddenly caught fire. See what I did there?
I do see what you did there.
Let's go. 10:42 remaining in the fourth quarter of play. Lorena back in the football game. They're down 35-21. 14 consecutive points here in the second half. Abdallah is back in the game. Faulkner waits on the snap. He has it. He gives it to Abdallah. He is hit at the line of scrimmage. Did the ball come out or did he fight his way forward?
Nope. You know, one thing I like, we're putting a lot of pressure. Everybody's within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. Even the safeties are cheating up.
Yeah.
So we're putting pressure, like, beat us.
So a gain of about ended up being a gain of, maybe 1. Where they spotted, I'm not sure even got. Yeah, 2nd and 9 is what they say at the 27. So they need the 36.
Yep.
Peoples is out there, and really, you know, that's an interesting battle. That's Salazar on Peoples, and it's been that way the whole game. Man goes in motion to the far sideline. Faulkner is rolling to the near side to throw. Throws it out in the flat. It's caught up near the 35-yard line. I don't like that spot, personally. I thought he stepped out a little bit, but they're going to say he got the first down up around the 37-yard line.
Yep.
Does stop the clock at an even 10 minutes. Now the clock starts to run under 10 minutes.
Got to dig in here and get a stop, Leopards.
All right. 3 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Abdallah and Faulkner. You got to be trying to kill that clock. They give it off to Abdallah. He's hit the backfield, breaks a couple of tackles. He actually manages to fight forward back near the original line of scrimmage, maybe even got a yard. 9:30, the clock continues to run. Lorena needs a stop.
You know, I wonder how much fatigue is starting to wear in for him. They fed him the ball a lot tonight. And, you know, the speed going side to side, that he's getting a yard, but he ran 30 to get that yard.
New back in the backfield for China Spring, number 10, is Sergio Watkins. He's got to be fresh legs. Maybe that's a part of it. They give it to him. He's up across the 45. Hit around the 40. I'm sorry, up across the 40, up near the
Zane Grimm
42-yard line. Yeah, they're actually giving them the 43, which I don't like. They need the 47. So it's going to bring up 3rd down and 4. Here we go. Let's get off the field, Leps.
Man, I don't like that spot.
I don't either. But, you know, bottom line is it's 3rd and a long 4, and we have a chance to get off the field.
Absolutely.
Boy, how fun it would be to get the ball back right now. Faulkner waits. He's got it. He's rolling to the near side. He's looking to throw. He has a man downfield. Lofts it. It is caught and out of bounds at the 41-yard line of Lorena. That's enough for the first down. Boy, big play there by Faulkner.
Yeah,
you got to give that kid credit.
Really nice play. Really nice, stay with the ball for number 18, Jordan Navarez for China Spring.
Yeah.
To bring the ball in because he was actually really well defended on that play.
You know, that's Faulkner on a rollout.
Yep.
I mean, you got to credit that kid. We've been calling Navarez's name a few times here lately. I'd like to get his stats here, information here in a minute. So China Spring keeps the ball. Big play. 8:11 remaining here in the 4th quarter. China Spring trying desperately to fight their way back into this football game. And as Chris mentioned earlier, they really are pressing up that defense. Everybody inside about 10 yards right now. They give it off to the running back. He's looking for room. He's got a nice block. He's to the outside and runs out of bounds after another first down. Tackled out there by Colton Dale as well as Andrew Britton. And that's number 10, Sergio Watkins, the running back for China Spring, and he has definitely come in and provided a boost with those fresh legs.
Has he touched the ball before this drive?
I don't believe so.
I don't think so either.
No, he hasn't. So China Spring very content now to let that clock run. 7:42, 7:41. 16 seconds left on the play clock. And they're staring at the sideline like they're watching a movie. Faulkner stands back around his 34-yard line, waiting on the snap. He has it. Give it to Watkins again. This time he's hitting the backfield. Breaks the tackle, though. Gets outside. Look out. He's inside the 30 to 25. 20 skips another man there and is all the way down inside the 20-yard line, out of bounds around the 17, I believe. And I've got to think maybe Lorena might be looking at calling a timeout.
Yeah.
They're definitely on their heels. No, they don't call timeout. 7:10 remaining. Now the clock running. 35 to 21. China Spring trying to really ice this game. They're doing a nice job with it.
Yeah, you mentioned a few seconds ago, David, that Navarez had his name called a few times. He has 5 receptions for 65 yards.
Yeah, and it feels like all of them have been big possession, first down gaining type receptions. Faulkner has it. Hands it off to Abdallah. He's back in the game. He's down inside the 10-yard line, I believe. No, actually, they're going to spot him at the 11, just outside the 10 there. Clock running. 6:35, 6:34. Man, this is painful it is to say this is an impressive kind of drive that seals a game.
Yeah,
we need a break right here. We need a fumble, or we need that pick six I was talking about.
Yep.
My hunch is they're going to run it 3 straight times.
You're probably correct in that assumption.
2nd down and 3. The ball's on the 11, so they can pick up another first down, which is the last thing we want them to do right now, well, other than score. Faulkner's waiting. Hands the ball off to Abdallah. He breaks some tackles. He's down in around the 10, spins out. Lots of pressure there by Lorena.
Yep.
Did he lose a yard?
Looks like it's going to bring – he's out to the line of scrimmage, it looks like. We're bringing up third and about 3.
Okay, so we need a big stop here, and then we need a missed field goal or something. Maybe they go for it. I don't know. Up 2 score. Although you kick a field goal here, that's a 3-score situation, and they probably would do it. Okay. Wow. Cody Kellner saying Emmanuel Abdallah for China Spring, 27 rushing attempts for 143 yards, and how many touchdowns? 2 touchdowns. What a game by that youngster. Here we go. Big play. 3rd down and 3. Faulkner has it, trying to run right up the middle. He's got the first down. He's into the end zone. Touchdown.
Yeah, he was untouched on that one. We had everybody up so close to the line of scrimmage. All he had to do was get past the,
Well, and it's been a steady dose of Abdallah, and everybody was,
everybody's
figuring they're going to tackle him. Yep. That was a great pull by Faulkner, and give him a lot of credit. Still 5:13 remaining. Want to see Lorena come back out again on fire. Let's see what we can do to just continue to improve this season so far. The 41 right now, 41 to 21 is the score. Kicks on the way for China Spring. It's good. That'll move the Ledger to 42-21, 5:13 remaining. While we can get a break, let's go ahead and do that. Chris, we'll be back. You're listening to Lorena Leopards football on CTSN, sponsored by Syntex Pond.
And they're scoring with 5:13 left to go in the contest.
You're faced with an auto repair. All you really want is to be treated fairly and to have it done right the first time. Well, Lorena's own Jesse Britt has been doing just that for over 20 years. Jesse Britt's Automotive is a full-service repair shop that can handle any of your automotive needs. Jesse's highly trained staff handles both foreign and domestic repairs, offers competitive pricing, and 100% customer satisfaction. Jesse Britt's Automotive even offers a free shuttle service to help ease your burden while you wait. So the next time you are faced with an auto repair, trust Jesse Britt to treat you fairly and to do it right the first time. Jesse Britt's Automotive, where they discount the price, not your service.
Welcome back into Cougar Field. David Gibson. 5:13 remaining here in the Syntex Pond broadcast of Lorena Leopards football. Lorena down 42-21 after an impressive drive by China Spring. Cody Kellner bringing up the fact that China Spring has three running backs responsible for 4 touchdowns. A big night for that backfield for the Cougars. Here's a kick. It's going to bounce at the 20. Picked up at the 15. To the 20. 25. Slips to tackle 30. Here comes I thought it looked like a flag. I think it was a football thrown in the stands. Across the 30-yard line, maybe up to the 32, 33-yard line, and that's where Lorena will take over.
Yep. You know, let's sustain the drive, get a touchdown here. You know,
here's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see a touchdown happen in 2 minutes or less. Get your little 2-minute drill going.
Yes, sir.
Then I'd like to see us take a swing at an onside kick.
Yep, you're right. Right, they scored 3 touchdowns in 4 minutes and 7 seconds.
Yeah.
We can score 3 touchdowns
Let's go.
in 5
That's what I'm
minutes and
talking
7
about.
seconds.
That's what I'm talking about. Don't give up. Will Teague, the wide receiver on the far sideline. 3 wide receivers to the near side. And here goes Lina. He's under pressure. Oh, it's a screenplay. 30. Well defended by China Spring. That's Brim. He does make it out of bounds up across the 35-yard line. That I'm sure they were hoping would have gone for a lot more.
Yeah.
They're going to pick up about actually only 2 that play. So they didn't quite get the block there on the edge, I think, that they wanted.
No, and, you know, there was only one guy in space, and just where the offensive lineman was, I mean, it would have been a block in the back if he touched him.
Ty Moore, Michael Moore, split out here to the near side. They hand it off up the middle, and Brim is spilled in the backfield. He'll lose.
Yeah, back to the original line of scrimmage, looks like.
Yep. Well, that's not what you want. Clock's running now, 4:45. Lorena fighting hard. Looks like we may come up short tonight. 3rd down and 9. Let's get a big first down now. Here comes some pressure from China Spring. Line is in trouble, and he's going to be sacked. So had it back there to try to pick up the blitzer, and he wasn't able to do it. The Cougar managed to slip that block and get to Lina, and just didn't have time to throw. And you know, that's what it looked like for most of the game tonight.
Yeah, you know, and when they were bringing pressure, they were pretty successful. The one time that they didn't bring pressure, you saw what Lina did. He threw it over the top and made them pay for it. So, you know, that defense has been working really hard for the Cougars and had put a lot of pressure on Lina.
Yeah, and they've been able to get Lorena in bad situations, you know, really 3rd and long. Here's Ty Moore. He'll kick it this time. Wobbly spiral, going to bounce at the 35-yard line and kick towards the near sideline, and then it'll roll downfield a little bit and be killed at the 31. So another chance to play defense. 3:33 remaining, 42-21. You got to think at this point that China Spring is going to keep it on the ground, and why not? Anyway, they've had a ton of success with that.
Yeah, they really have. You know, and stat-wise, obviously most of the stuff that they've been doing has been on the ground. I'll be interested to see once this final clock hits 0 to see where they're sitting at rush yard-wise. It's probably a pretty impressive number. Did want to pass on a couple scores real quick while we're waiting on the Cougars to enter the field again. Looks like Waco High is down to University 30-29 in the 4th quarter.
Wow.
Euless Trinity up 20-14 on midway with 2 minutes remaining. La Vega up 28-7 with 4 minutes left in the game. And for some reason, the Trib has China Spring 52 and Lorena 21, which is not correct.
42-20. Yeah, you're right. Well, let's see. Caden Miller back to the sideline. He's hobbling around a little bit. Here's China Spring. They got the ball around the 30. They're going to hand it off to Watkins. He's at the middle. Across the 35 up to the 38-yard line. Sergio Watkins. He's had a big second half, certainly a big fourth quarter.
Yeah. I did want to mention one more score that can't be right. It says Marlin 214 and McGregor 28. At least things are messed up everywhere.
Right.
Not
you
just
know
here.
what? That's the truth. I'm going to go home and go to sleep tonight. I don't even want to take a chance after this game. 3 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. Lorena's going to come up a little short tonight, but, man, did it feel like for a moment that we might have seen an epic comeback. Just a big play. Really, the play that I think sealed the deal was that rollout from Faulkner to the near side where he threw a beautiful strike.
A punting situation, and we would have got the ball back.
Exactly. And who knows what happens at that point. Looks like we're going to maybe have a timeout on the field with 2:44 remaining. We'll go ahead and take it in the booth as well. Let's see. 2:44 remaining on the clock. Lorena down 42-21. You're listening to Lorena Leopards football on CTSN, sponsored by Syntex Pond.
The Toby Miller family has a proud tradition of winning on the fields and courts of Central Texas. So it makes sense that Toby's Auto Sales is a family-owned and operated winner at making customers feel great about buying a car. Team up with Toby, Dawn, Dina, and Brian to get the quality car you want at the value you need so that you can drive away a winner of the car buying game. Visit Toby's Auto Sales at 2925 Franklin or give them a call at 254-756-1133. Join a winner in the car business. Toby's Auto Sales.
Welcome back into Cougar Stadium here in China Spring. Lorena finds himself down 42-21 with 2:44 remaining in the ball game. China Spring with the ball. Is facing a second down and 2 on their own side of the field. They hand it off to Watkins up the middle. He's got the first down, close to the first down. Now they say that, and then he's pushed backwards by the Leopards. 2:33 now as the clock continues to move. And they do signal first down, and that should do it.
Yeah, I see about 28 seconds running off this play clock before the ball is snapped.
Yeah, exactly. Watkins, and now a new quarterback in the game for China Spring, trying to get a little backup work. Colby Killo. He steps up to the line of scrimmage. Kobe, they don't give his here comes Zane. Looks like he's going to rush. He is. He's going to hit Watkins in the backfield hard and tackle him for a big loss down back to the 38-yard line. A loss of 3 on the play.
Yeah, and you know, after all the success that this team, these guys experienced last year, you know, there's a lot of, you know, there's probably some frustration going on.
Yeah.
And so one thing I want to comment on is there's still effort being given. You know,
oh yeah.
When it was 35-7 and it seemed like everything was going against us, we could have folded up and moved on to next week, but we still kept playing.
Yeah. You know, if I was going to come up with a defensive player of the game, I'd have to say it's Zane Grimm. And if I was going to go offense, I'd probably go Ty Moore at this point.
Yeah,
or maybe Brim. Maybe Brim, but both of those guys.
Yeah.
Fighting hard. You have a whistle and a delay of game against China Spring.
They wanted to get that extra 2 seconds off the clock.
You think they're just trying to run it down?
Absolutely.
Man, what? It's 21 points. Anyway, 1:13 remaining. Leopards are going to fall tonight. The score right now is 42-21. I will say there's been a lot of good things happening in the second half, and there's a lot of positives, I think, to take from the game. Here's the handoff up the middle for China Spring up to the 31. And that'll bring up a third down as the clock dips inside a minute.
Yeah, I mean, it's been 14-7 this half, and it's not like, you know, the first couple of possessions in the third quarter that China Spring was just trying to run the clock and punt the ball away.
Right.
They were trying to score still.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And Lorena defense started stepping up and certainly looked like a better team here in the second half for sure. Killo is the quarterback. He's in the backfield waiting on the snap. That's Watkins back there with them for China Spring. He's going to take a knee. With 26 seconds left, that will do it. So your final score this evening is going to end up being 42-21. Lorena comes across town and fights hard. Can't overcome some tough breaks and maybe a little sloppy play.
Yeah, definitely some sloppiness.
And the teams are going to head towards midfield where they'll shake hands and head back home and learn from the film and get better. And I do think this team is going to definitely get better. You guys can hit the lights for us. They're going to definitely get better. Some nice play tonight by several of the younger players. Rhett Hansen had a nice catch for a 56-yard play. Cade Walker, Colton Dale. Michael Moore was in the ball game. Reed Mickna, Kason Pitts all had nice hits. Andrew Britton showed up some. And, Cody Thorne played as well. So lots of things to really look forward to. I actually think you're going to see a big jump between this week and next week. Those young guys who had never played a varsity game, now they've got a game under their belt.